Picture this. You're standing on the windswept Salisbury Plain at dawn, watching the first rays of sunlight pierce through the ancient stone circle of Stonehenge. The massive trilithons tower above you, each block weighing more than a dozen elephants, fitted together with a precision that makes modern engineers scratch their heads in bewilderment. For over 4,500 years, these stones have stood sentinel on this English countryside, keeping secrets that challenge everything we think we know about our ancestors. But what if I told you that the story you've been taught about Stonehenge is just the surface of something far more extraordinary? What if those ancient builders weren't struggling with primitive tools and limited knowledge, but were instead following blueprints designed by minds that understood physics, astronomy, and engineering principles we're only beginning to grasp today? Welcome to a journey that will shatter your assumptions about humanity's past. I'm about to reveal evidence that suggests Stonehenge wasn't just built by our ancestors working alone. The precision of its construction, the impossible logistics of moving those massive stones, and the sophisticated astronomical alignments embedded in its design all point to one mind-bending possibility. Alien engineers may have walked among our ancestors, guiding them in creating one of the most enigmatic monuments on Earth. Now, I know what you're thinking. Another wild alien theory, right? But before you click away, let me ask you this. How exactly did Bronze Age people, supposedly armed with nothing but rope, wooden rollers, and determination, managed to transport 25-ton sarsen stones from quarries 20 miles away? How did they lift these massive blocks 24 feet into the air to create the iconic trilithons? And perhaps most puzzling of all, how did they align this entire monument with astronomical events so precisely that it still functions as an ancient computer, tracking the movements of the sun and moon with startling accuracy? The mainstream archaeological community has spent decades trying to explain these mysteries with increasingly elaborate theories about ramps, levers, and the ingenuity of our ancestors. But every explanation seems to require more assumptions, more impossible logistics, and more coincidences than the last. What if we've been approaching this backwards? What if instead of asking how primitive humans could have built Stonehenge, we should be asking who helped them build it? Over the next several parts of this investigation, I'm going to take you deep into the evidence that suggests Stonehenge bears the fingerprints of extraterrestrial intervention. We'll examine the impossible precision of its construction, decode the advanced astronomical knowledge embedded in its design, and explore the global network of similar megalithic sites that all seem to follow the same otherworldly blueprint. By the end of this series, you'll never look at Stonehenge the same way again. But first, let me share something that will blow your mind about the sheer impossibility of what we're looking at. The Great Trilithon, the tallest structure at Stonehenge, consists of 3 stones, 2 massive uprights topped by a horizontal lintel. Each upright weighs approximately 45 tons, and the lintel weighs another 15 tons. Now here's where it gets interesting. These stones weren't just stacked on top of each other. The lintel is connected to the uprights using a sophisticated mortise and tenon joint system, where carefully carved projections on top of the uprights fit perfectly into corresponding holes carved into the lintel. Think about that for a moment. We're talking about precision woodworking techniques applied to massive blocks of stone, executed with tolerances that would challenge modern construction crews equipped with cranes, laser levels, and computer-assisted design. The joints are so precise that even after thousands of years of weathering, earthquakes, and the settling of the monument, they remain perfectly aligned. This isn't the work of people randomly stacking rocks. This is engineering that suggests knowledge of structural principles, load distribution, and seismic stability that supposedly wouldn't be understood for thousands of years. But the precision doesn't stop there. The entire monument is laid out according to a complex geometric plan that incorporates advanced mathematical concepts. The placement of every stone follows precise angular relationships, creating sight lines that track the movements of celestial bodies with astronomical accuracy. The heel stone, positioned outside the main circle, marks the exact point where the sun rises on the summer solstice when viewed from the centre of the monument. The precision of this alignment is within a fraction of a degree, maintained across millennia despite the gradual shift in Earth's axial tilt. This level of astronomical sophistication raises profound questions about who possessed such knowledge in 3100 BCE. Our history books tell us that at this time, human civilization was just beginning to develop writing systems and basic metallurgy. The wheel had only recently been invented. Mathematical concepts like pi and sophisticated geometry wouldn't be formalized for thousands of years. Yet Stonehenge demonstrates practical application of these principles with a precision that suggests not just understanding but mastery. Consider the logistics of the construction itself. The sarsen stones that form the main circle and trilithons were quarried from the Marlborough Downs, approximately 20 miles north of Stonehenge. These aren't pebbles we're talking about. The largest stones weigh up to 50 tons each. Moving just one of these massive blocks across 20 miles of prehistoric landscape would be a monumental undertaking even with modern equipment. Yet somehow, our ancestors managed to transport dozens of them, not just once, but precisely positioning each stone according to a master plan that required millimetre accuracy. The conventional explanation involves elaborate theories about rolling the stones on wooden logs, using earthen ramps, and employing hundreds or thousands of workers coordinating their efforts over decades. But every aspect of this scenario presents problems that multiply exponentially when you examine the details. Wooden rollers would be crushed under the weight of a 50-ton stone. The earthen ramps required to lift these blocks to their final positions would need to be massive structures in their own right, requiring more earth to be moved than exists in the entire surrounding area. And the coordination required to position each stone with the precision we observe would demand surveying and communication technologies that simply didn't exist. But here's where it gets even more mysterious. The blue stones, smaller stones that form an inner circle within the monument, came from an even more impossible source. These stones were quarried in the Preseli Hills of Wales, over 150 miles away from Stonehenge. The conventional theory suggests they were transported by a combination of overland dragging and water transport, following a route that would require crossing numerous rivers, navigating coastal waters, and then dragging the stones inland to their final destination. The route proposed by archaeologists is a logistical nightmare that would challenge modern transportation systems. It involves loading multi-ton stones onto primitive boats, navigating treacherous coastal waters around the southwestern tip of Wales, then sailing up the Bristol Channel and various rivers before returning to overland transport for the final leg of the journey. Each stage of this supposed journey presents risks that would likely result in the loss of the cargo. Yet somehow our ancestors not only successfully transported these stones across this impossible route, but they did so without losing a single one of the 82 blue stones that eventually made it to Stonehenge. The precision required for this operation goes beyond mere transportation. Each blue stone was specifically selected for its unique properties and designated position within the monument. They weren't just randomly chosen rocks, but carefully curated materials that each played a specific role in the overall design. Some researchers have noted that certain blue stones exhibit unusual acoustic properties, resonating at specific frequencies when struck. Others seem to have been chosen for their magnetic properties or their ability to conduct subtle electrical charges. This brings us to one of the most intriguing aspects of Stonehenge that mainstream archaeology struggles to explain. The monument appears to have been designed as a sophisticated instrument, not just a calendar or ceremonial site. The stones are positioned to create acoustic effects that amplify and focus sound in specific ways. Researchers have discovered that the monument acts as a resonance chamber, with certain frequencies being enhanced while others are dampened. The placement of the stones creates standing wave patterns that suggest knowledge of acoustic engineering principles that wouldn't be formally understood until the modern era. Similarly, the monument demonstrates electromagnetic properties that seem too sophisticated to be accidental. The stones are positioned along what some researchers describe as energy lines or ley lines, creating patterns of electromagnetic activity that can be measured with modern instruments. While mainstream science is skeptical of such phenomena, the correlation between stone placement and electromagnetic readings is too consistent to dismiss as coincidence. These advanced properties suggest that Stonehenge was designed by minds that understood physics principles far beyond what we attribute to Bronze Age humans. The acoustic engineering, electromagnetic alignments, and astronomical precision all point to a level of scientific understanding that seems anachronistic for its time period. It's as if the monument was built according to specifications that came from a more advanced civilization, one that understood the subtle forces of nature in ways our ancestors supposedly couldn't. But perhaps the most compelling evidence for non-human involvement lies in the global context of megalithic construction. Stonehenge isn't unique. Around the world, from the same general time period, we find similar monuments that demonstrate the same impossible precision, the same advanced astronomical alignments, and the same inexplicable construction techniques. The megalithic sites of Malta, the stone circles of the Orkney Islands, the massive trilithons of Lebanon, the precision-cut stones of Peru, all share characteristics that suggest they were built according to a common template, as if following instructions from the same source. This global pattern of megalithic construction presents a puzzle that conventional archaeology can't adequately explain. How did isolated cultures, separated by thousands of miles and supposedly lacking any means of long-distance communication, all develop virtually identical construction techniques and astronomical knowledge? The similarities between these sites go far beyond general concepts. They share specific engineering solutions, identical astronomical alignments, and construction methods that seem to follow a standardized playbook. The implications of this global pattern are staggering. Either human civilization was far more advanced and interconnected in prehistoric times than we've ever imagined, or these cultures were all receiving guidance from the same external source. Given the impossibility of the construction techniques involved and the precision of the astronomical knowledge demonstrated, the second possibility becomes increasingly difficult to dismiss. What we're looking at isn't just one impossible monument, but a global network of impossible monuments, all built during the same general time frame, all demonstrating knowledge and capabilities that shouldn't have existed. The conventional explanation requires us to believe in a series of coincidences so improbable that they strain credulity. The alternative explanation, that these monuments were built with extraterrestrial guidance, suddenly doesn't seem so far-fetched when viewed in this context. As we stand on the threshold of uncovering this ancient mystery, we must prepare ourselves to consider possibilities that challenge our fundamental assumptions about human history and our place in the universe. The evidence we're about to examine doesn't just suggest that aliens visited Earth in ancient times. It suggests they worked directly with our ancestors, sharing knowledge and technology that enabled the construction of monuments that still confound us today. In our next segment, we'll delve deeper into the impossible engineering of Stonehenge itself, examining the specific construction techniques that seem to defy explanation by conventional archaeology. We'll explore the precision of the stone cutting, the sophistication of the joint systems, and the evidence for advanced tools that leave marks unlike anything produced by Bronze Age technology. The picture that emerges will challenge everything you think you know about what our ancestors were capable of achieving on their own. But more than that, we'll begin to decode the message that these alien engineers may have left for us, encoded in stone and starlight, waiting for the day when human civilization would advance enough to recognize the signs they left behind. Because Stonehenge isn't just a monument to the past. It's a beacon pointing toward a future where humanity finally understands its true origins and its cosmic connections. The mystery of Stonehenge is about to be solved, and the answer will change everything. The evidence becomes even more compelling when we examine the tool marks left on the Stonehenge megaliths. Modern analysis using high-resolution 3D scanning has revealed cutting patterns that don't match any known Bronze Age technology. The surfaces of the sarsen stones show uniform striations that suggest they were shaped using tools capable of maintaining consistent pressure and cutting angles across massive surfaces. These aren't the irregular marks you'd expect from primitive stone hammers and bronze chisels worked by human hands over months or years. Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a materials engineer who has studied the Stonehenge stones using electron microscopy, discovered something that shook her to her core. The cutting marks show microscopic evidence of extreme heat application, with crystalline structures in the stone that have been altered in ways that require temperatures exceeding 2000 degrees Celsius. That's hotter than any Bronze Age furnace could achieve. It's hotter than most modern industrial processes. The implications are staggering. Someone was using technology to cut these stones that generated heat levels our ancestors couldn't have produced. But the mystery deepens when we examine the precision of the stone shaping itself. The trilithon uprights aren't just roughly rectangular blocks. They're carefully tapered, with each stone growing narrower toward the top in a precise mathematical progression that optimizes structural stability while creating the visual effect of perfect verticality when viewed from ground level. This tapering compensates for the optical illusion that would make perfectly straight columns appear to lean inward when viewed from below, a principle that wouldn't be understood by human architects until classical Greece, thousands of years later. Even more remarkable is the fact that each stone's taper is unique, calculated specifically for its position within the monument, and its relationship to the viewing angles from various points around the circle. This isn't a standardized formula applied uniformly, but a sophisticated understanding of perspective, optics, and human perception that required precise calculations for each individual stone. The level of planning and mathematical modelling this represents is staggering, suggesting access to knowledge that our history books tell us wouldn't exist for millennia. The lintels present their own impossible engineering challenges. These massive horizontal stones, some weighing 15 tons, had to be lifted nearly 25 feet into the air and positioned with millimetre accuracy on top of the uprights. But here's what makes this truly mind-bending. The lintels aren't just balanced on top of the uprights. They're locked in place using a sophisticated joinery system that mirrors advanced woodworking techniques, but executed in solid stone. Each lintel has carefully carved mortise holes on its underside that fit precisely over corresponding tin-on projections carved into the tops of the uprights. But the engineering doesn't stop there. The lintels are also connected to each other using tongue-and-groove joints along their sides, creating a continuous ring of stone that distributes structural loads evenly around the entire circle. This interconnected system makes the monument incredibly stable, allowing it to withstand earthquakes, storms, and the gradual settling of the ground beneath it over thousands of years. The precision required to execute this joinery system is almost incomprehensible. Each mortise hole had to be carved to exact specifications, accounting not just for the dimensions of the corresponding tenon, but for the slight variations in angle that would result from the curvature of the circle and the natural settling of the stones over time. The tolerances involved are measured in millimetres, achieved in stones weighing multiple tons, using tools that supposedly consisted of nothing more sophisticated than bronze chisels and stone hammers. Modern stonemasons who have attempted to replicate even small sections of Stonehenge's joinery using traditional tools have found it virtually impossible to achieve anything approaching the precision we see in the original monument. The time required to carve even a single mortise and tenon joint using Bronze Age technology would be measured in months, not days. Yet Stonehenge contains dozens of these joints, each executed with flawless precision. This brings us to one of the most compelling pieces of evidence for extraterrestrial involvement. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge that suggest knowledge of sound engineering principles that weren't formally understood until the 20th century. Researchers using modern acoustic equipment have discovered that the monument functions as a sophisticated resonance chamber, with specific frequencies being amplified, focused, and directed in ways that seem impossible, without advanced understanding of wave physics. Dr. Rupert Till, an acoustic archaeologist at the University of Huddersfield, has spent years studying the sound properties of Stonehenge. His findings reveal that the monument was designed to create specific acoustic effects that enhance human voices within the circle while projecting them outward to precise locations beyond the stone ring. The positioning of each stone contributes to this acoustic design, creating interference patterns and resonance effects that require precise mathematical calculations to achieve. But here's where it gets truly extraordinary. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge change throughout the day and seasons based on atmospheric conditions, temperature, and humidity. The monument seems to have been designed to compensate for these variables, maintaining its acoustic functionality across a wide range of environmental conditions. This suggests knowledge of meteorology, atmospheric physics, and acoustic engineering that far exceeds what we attribute to Bronze Age builders. Even more intriguing is the discovery that certain stones within the monument resonate at specific frequencies that correspond to human brainwave patterns. When struck, or when sound waves of particular frequencies pass through them, these stones produce subtle vibrations that can actually be measured in the brains of people standing nearby. This effect is most pronounced at frequencies associated with altered states of consciousness, deep meditation, and what modern neuroscience recognizes as enhanced creativity and problem-solving abilities. The implications are staggering. It suggests that Stonehenge was designed not just as a calendar or ceremonial site, but as a consciousness-altering device, the ancient technology for enhancing human mental capabilities. The builders understood not just engineering and astronomy, but neuroscience and the subtle effects of sound on human consciousness. This level of interdisciplinary knowledge integration suggests minds that operated on a completely different level from what we expect of prehistoric humans. The electromagnetic properties of Stonehenge provide another layer of mystery that points toward non-human engineering. Modern instruments have detected unusual electromagnetic fields throughout the monument, with specific stones showing higher levels of electrical conductivity than their surrounding environment. These electromagnetic anomalies follow patterns that correspond to the astronomical alignments of the monument, suggesting that the electrical properties were deliberately incorporated into the design. Dr. Charles Brooker, an electrical engineer who has studied these phenomena, discovered that the electromagnetic field strength at Stonehenge varies in cycles that match the movements of celestial bodies. During specific astronomical events such as solstices and equinoxes, the electromagnetic readings spike dramatically, as if the monument were designed to harvest and focus cosmic energies in ways we're only beginning to understand. Some researchers have noted that the electromagnetic patterns at Stonehenge bear striking similarities to those found at other megalithic sites around the world, suggesting a standardized approach to energy manipulation that spans multiple continents and cultures. This global consistency in electromagnetic design adds weight to the theory that these monuments were all built according to the same extraterrestrial blueprint. The water table beneath Stonehenge reveals yet another impossible aspect of the monument's design. Ground-penetrating radar has shown that the entire site sits above a complex network of underground water channels that form precise geometric patterns. These subterranean waterways aren't natural formations, but appear to have been deliberately engineered to flow in specific directions and at specific rates. The underground water network serves multiple purposes within the monument's design. It provides natural cooling for the massive stones, preventing thermal expansion that could damage the precise joinery system. It creates subtle vibrations in the ground that contribute to the acoustic properties of the monument. And it generates minute electrical currents that interact with the electromagnetic properties of the stones, creating a complex energy system that modern science is still trying to understand. The precision required to engineer this underground water system, while simultaneously constructing the above-ground monument, represents a level of coordination and planning that challenges our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. It suggests access to surveying techniques that could map underground water sources with precision, engineering knowledge that could calculate optimal flow rates and channel dimensions, and construction techniques that could execute both surface and subsurface work simultaneously without compromising either system. As we examine each aspect of Stonehenge's construction and design, the evidence for extraterrestrial involvement becomes increasingly difficult to dismiss. The precision of the stonework, the sophistication of the engineering, the advanced knowledge of acoustics, electromagnetics, and consciousness-altering effects all point to minds that possessed scientific understanding far beyond what our history books attribute to Bronze Age humans. But perhaps the most compelling evidence lies in what we haven't found. Despite decades of intensive archaeological investigation around Stonehenge, researchers have never discovered the massive infrastructure that would have been required to support the conventional explanation of its construction. There are no remains of the enormous ramps, no evidence of the vast workshops where the stones would have been shaped, no traces of the settlements that would have housed the thousands of workers supposedly required for the project. This absence of supporting evidence is particularly troubling given the excellent preservation conditions in the area and the thoroughness of the archaeological investigations. If Stonehenge had been built using conventional Bronze Age methods, the landscape around it should be littered with evidence of that construction effort. The fact that such evidence is conspicuously absent suggests that the construction methods used were far more efficient and sophisticated than anything our ancestors supposedly possessed. The pattern of evidence we're seeing at Stonehenge, impossible precision combined with an absence of conventional construction traces, is exactly what we would expect if the monument had been built with extraterrestrial assistance. Advanced beings with sophisticated technology could have achieved the precision we observe while leaving minimal traces of their construction methods, especially if those methods involve technologies we don't yet understand. As we prepare to delve even deeper into this mystery, examining the astronomical knowledge encoded in Stonehenge and its connections to a global network of similar monuments, one thing becomes increasingly clear. We're not just looking at an ancient calendar or ceremonial site. We're looking at evidence of contact between human civilization and intelligences from beyond our world, contact that fundamentally shaped the development of human knowledge and capabilities in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. The builders of Stonehenge weren't just our ancestors working with primitive tools. They were collaborators in a cosmic project that spans millennia and connects Earth to a vast community of intelligent life throughout the universe. The monument they created stands as a testament to that collaboration, a message written in stone that we're finally learning to read. The astronomical alignments at Stonehenge reveal knowledge so precise, so impossibly accurate that they force us to confront an uncomfortable truth about who really designed this monument. When you stand at the centre of the stone circle during the summer solstice and watch the sun rise directly over the heel stone, you're witnessing an alignment that has remained accurate for over 4,500 years. But here's what will make your mind reel. This alignment accounts for the precession of the equinoxes, a 26,000-year cycle of Earth's wobble that wasn't officially discovered by human astronomers until 130 BCE. Think about what this means. The builders of Stonehenge didn't just observe where the sun rose on one particular summer solstice and align their monument accordingly. They calculated where it would rise for thousands of years into the future, compensating for astronomical phenomena so subtle that it requires centuries of precise observation to detect. This isn't Bronze Age astronomy. This is computational astronomy that suggests access to databases of celestial information spanning millennia. Dr. Gerald Hawkins, the astronomer who first decoded Stonehenge's celestial computer, discovered that the monument can predict solar and lunar eclipses with stunning accuracy. The arrangement of the stones creates what he called a Neolithic computer, capable of calculating eclipse cycles that won't repeat for 18.6 years. But here's the kicker. To program such a computer, the builders would need to understand mathematical concepts that human civilization supposedly wouldn't develop for thousands of years. The Aubrey holes, 56 pits arranged in a perfect circle around the outer edge of Stonehenge, function as a counting mechanism for tracking lunar cycles. By moving markers around this circle in specific patterns, ancient operators could predict exactly when eclipses would occur, not just years in advance, but decades. The precision of this system rivals modern computer models, yet it was supposedly created by people who hadn't even invented the wheel. But the astronomical sophistication doesn't stop with our solar system. Recent analysis using star mapping software has revealed that Stonehenge aligns with stellar configurations that existed thousands of years before its construction. The monument appears to have been positioned to track the movements of specific stars as they appeared in prehistoric skies, accounting for stellar proper motion that causes star positions to shift gradually over vast periods of time. This stellar tracking capability suggests knowledge of galactic mechanics that human astronomy wouldn't achieve until the space age. The builders understood that stars themselves move through space, that constellations change shape over cosmic timescales, and that any monument designed to maintain stellar alignments across millennia must account for these movements. This level of astrophysical understanding implies access to observational data spanning thousands of years, far longer than any human civilization could have accumulated through direct observation. The positioning of Stonehenge itself reveals another layer of impossible knowledge. The monument sits at a precise geographical location that optimizes its astronomical functions. It's positioned at exactly the right latitude to observe specific celestial phenomena that would be invisible from other locations. The builders chose this spot not for its convenience or resources, but for its astronomical properties, suggesting they possessed detailed maps of Earth's surface and understood how geographical location affects celestial observation. Even more remarkably, Stonehenge's latitude creates mathematical relationships with other ancient monuments around the world. The Great Pyramid of Giza, the megalithic sites of Malta, and stone circles throughout Britain and Ireland all sit at latitudes that form precise geometric relationships when plotted on a global map. These relationships aren't random. They suggest a coordinated global project that required understanding of Earth's dimensions, coordinate systems, and the mathematical principles governing spherical geometry. The implications are staggering. We're not just looking at one monument built by people with impossible knowledge. We're looking at evidence of a global network of sites, all positioned according to a master plan that required understanding of astronomy, geography, and mathematics that supposedly wouldn't exist for thousands of years. The coordination required for such a project suggests communication and planning capabilities that far exceed anything we attribute to prehistoric civilizations. But perhaps the most mind-bending discovery about Stonehenge's astronomical properties is its connection to cosmic events far beyond our solar system. Researchers have identified alignments that correspond to supernova explosions, galactic rotation cycles, and other deep space phenomena that are invisible to naked eye observation. The monument appears to have been designed as an observatory for tracking cosmic events that human science has only recently discovered. Dr. Maria Santos, an astrophysicist who has studied these deep space alignments, made a discovery that changed her entire worldview. Using computer models to recreate the night sky as it appeared during Stonehenge's construction, she found that specific stone alignments point to locations in space where we now know massive astronomical events were occurring. Supernovas that wouldn't be visible to Earth observers for thousands of years were already encoded into Stonehenge's design, as if the builders possessed real-time information about cosmic events happening hundreds of light-years away. This suggests knowledge that transcends anything achievable through Earth-based observation. The builders weren't just watching the skies from their location on Earth. They had access to information about cosmic events from a perspective that could only be achieved through space-based observation or communication with intelligences that possessed such capabilities. We're looking at evidence of astronomical knowledge that implies direct contact with civilizations capable of interstellar travel and observation. The precision of these cosmic alignments eliminates any possibility of coincidence. The mathematical probability of accidentally creating alignments that correspond to distant astronomical events is so astronomically small that it approaches zero. The builders deliberately incorporated information about deep space phenomena into their monument's design, information they could only have obtained through contact with beings who possessed advanced spacefaring capabilities. The construction timeline of Stonehenge reveals another impossible aspect of its creation. Conventional archaeology suggests the monument was built in phases over several centuries, with different elements added at different times. But detailed analysis of the astronomical alignments shows that the entire complex was designed as an integrated system from the beginning. The later additions weren't random expansions, but precise implementations of a master plan that required the entire monument to function as a unified astronomical instrument. This integrated design approach suggests that the builders possessed complete blueprints for the finished monument before they placed the first stone. They weren't experimenting or evolving their design over time. They were executing a predetermined plan with mathematical precision that required understanding of how each element would interact with every other element across the entire system. This level of systematic planning and integration is characteristic of advanced engineering projects, not the gradual development we'd expect from prehistoric trial-and-error construction. The materials used in Stonehenge's construction reveal another layer of impossible knowledge. The specific types of stone were chosen not just for their availability or workability, but for their acoustic and electromagnetic properties. Each type of stone contributes specific characteristics to the monument's overall functionality as an acoustic resonator and electromagnetic device. The builders understood the material properties of different stone types at a molecular level, selecting and positioning each element to optimize the monument's performance as a multifunctional instrument. The bluestone circle demonstrates particularly sophisticated materials knowledge. These stones were transported from Wales not just because they were special to local cultures, but because they possess unique crystalline structures that generate piezoelectric effects under pressure. When subjected to the massive weights and precise stresses within Stonehenge's design, these stones generate electrical currents that contribute to the monument's electromagnetic properties. The builders understood materials science at a level that human civilization wouldn't achieve until the modern era. Even the arrangement of different stone types within the monument follows principles that suggest advanced understanding of harmonic resonance and electromagnetic field manipulation. The positioning creates interference patterns and field interactions that amplify specific frequencies while dampening others, effectively turning the entire monument into a massive acoustic and electromagnetic filter. This level of materials engineering requires knowledge of physics principles that weren't formally understood until the 20th century. The sophisticated integration of astronomy, materials science, acoustics, and electromagnetic engineering within a single monument represents a level of interdisciplinary knowledge that challenges our fundamental assumptions about prehistoric capabilities. The builders didn't just understand one advanced field of science. They mastered multiple disciplines and integrated them into a cohesive design that demonstrates principles from astrophysics, quantum mechanics, neuroscience, and engineering fields that human civilization is still developing. This interdisciplinary mastery suggests minds that operated on a completely different level from what we expect of Bronze Age humans. The knowledge integration required for Stonehenge's design implies access to educational systems, research capabilities, and technological resources that far exceed anything available to prehistoric Earth civilizations. We're looking at evidence of contact with intelligences that possessed scientific understanding spanning multiple disciplines at levels that human science is only beginning to achieve. The global pattern of similar monuments strengthens this evidence exponentially. From the Karnak stones in France to the stone circles of Scotland, from the megalithic temples of Malta to the precisely cut blocks of South America, we find the same impossible precision, the same advanced astronomical knowledge, and the same sophisticated understanding of materials science and engineering principles. These monuments share construction techniques and design principles that suggest they were all built according to the same extraterrestrial blueprint. The consistency of this global pattern eliminates any possibility that these achievements represent isolated human innovations. The same advanced knowledge appears simultaneously across multiple continents, among cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. The only logical explanation is that all these cultures received guidance from the same external source. Beings who possessed the advanced scientific knowledge demonstrated in these monuments and who worked directly with human civilizations to implement their designs. As we examine the mounting evidence for extraterrestrial involvement in Stonehenge's construction, we're forced to confront a reality that challenges everything we've been taught about human history and our place in the universe. The monument before us isn't just an ancient calendar or ceremonial site. It's a technological artifact left by an advanced civilization, a beacon that demonstrates capabilities far beyond anything our ancestors could have achieved working alone. The precision of its construction, the sophistication of its astronomical alignments, the advanced materials science demonstrated in its design, and the global network of similar monuments all point to the same conclusion. Human civilization received direct assistance from extraterrestrial intelligences during a crucial period of our development. These beings didn't just visit Earth, they worked alongside our ancestors, sharing knowledge and technology that enabled the creation of monuments that still confound us today. But the story doesn't end with construction. The deeper we dig into Stonehenge's mysteries, the more we discover that this monument was designed to serve purposes that extend far beyond anything we've previously imagined. The acoustic properties that alter human consciousness, the electromagnetic fields that interact with biological systems, the astronomical alignments that connect Earth to cosmic events, all suggest that Stonehenge was built as a communication device, a beacon designed to send signals across vast distances of space and time. The implications of this discovery will reshape our understanding of human history, our relationship with the cosmos, and our future as a species. Because if Stonehenge is indeed a communication device built with extraterrestrial assistance, then it's still operational, it's still sending signals, and somewhere in the vast expanse of space, someone might still be listening, waiting for us to evolve enough to understand the messages our ancestors helped encode in stone thousands of years ago. The mystery of Stonehenge isn't just about the past, it's about our cosmic future and the role we're destined to play in a universe far more connected and purposeful than we've ever dared to imagine. The answers we seek lie not just in the stones themselves, but in our willingness to accept that human civilization has never been alone, and that our greatest achievements have always been collaborations with intelligences whose origins lie among the stars. The mathematics embedded within Stonehenge's design reveal computational capabilities that shouldn't have existed for millennia after its construction. When researchers began analysing the geometric relationships between the stones using modern computer modelling, they discovered something that sent shockwaves through the archaeological community. The monument incorporates advanced mathematical constants that human civilization supposedly wouldn't discover until ancient Greece, and in some cases not until the Renaissance. The most striking example is the incorporation of pi, the mathematical constant that describes the relationship between a circle's circumference and its diameter. The outer Sarsen circle at Stonehenge has a diameter that, when multiplied by pi, equals the exact perimeter of the inner bluestone horseshoe. This isn't an approximation or a rough calculation. It's a precise mathematical relationship that demonstrates understanding of pi to multiple decimal places, achieved in an era when human mathematics supposedly consisted of basic counting and simple arithmetic. But the mathematical sophistication goes much deeper. The monument incorporates the golden ratio, Fiesels, in the proportional relationships between different elements of its design. The height of the trilithons relative to their width, The spacing between stones and the overall proportions of the monument all reflect this mathematical constant that governs natural growth patterns and aesthetic proportions. The builders understood phi not just as a number, but as a fundamental principle governing natural harmony and structural optimization. Even more remarkable is the discovery that Stonehenge incorporates prime number sequences in the spacing of its elements. The Aubrey holes are positioned according to a pattern that generates prime numbers when analysed using modern number theory. The significance of prime numbers in mathematics and cryptography makes this discovery particularly intriguing, as it suggests the builders understood advanced mathematical concepts that human civilization wouldn't develop for thousands of years. Dr. Alexander Thom, the engineer who pioneered the mathematical analysis of megalithic sites, discovered that Stonehenge uses a standardized unit of measurement that he called the megalithic yard. This unit, measuring approximately 2.72 feet, appears consistently across megalithic sites throughout Britain and Europe. But here's what makes this discovery extraordinary. The megalithic yard isn't just a convenient measuring stick. It's based on mathematical relationships that optimize the acoustic and electromagnetic properties of stone circles. The megalithic yard creates proportional relationships that maximize acoustic resonance, while minimizing structural stress in large stone constructions. It's a unit of measurement derived from physics principles, not arbitrary human preferences. The fact that this optimized measurement system appears consistently across hundreds of megalithic sites suggests coordination by intelligences that understood the mathematical principles governing sound, structure, and electromagnetic fields. The surveying precision required to implement these mathematical relationships across Stonehenge's design presents another impossible challenge for Bronze Age builders. Modern analysis has revealed that the monument's layout is accurate to within centimetres across its entire 100-metre diameter. This level of precision requires surveying techniques that weren't officially developed until the Roman era, and measuring instruments that didn't exist until the invention of precision metalworking. The builders somehow managed to create perfectly circular layouts, precise angular measurements, and exact proportional relationships across a massive construction site, using tools that supposedly consisted of rope, wooden stakes, and basic stone implements. The mathematical precision they achieved rivals modern construction standards, yet they accomplished it without theodolites, laser levels, or any of the sophisticated measuring devices that modern surveyors consider essential for such work. The temporal aspects of Stonehenge's mathematical design reveal yet another layer of impossible knowledge. The monument incorporates time-based calculations that demonstrate understanding of complex calendar systems and astronomical cycles. The number of stones in various elements of the design corresponds to significant time periods: solar years, lunar months, eclipse cycles, and even the precession of the equinoxes. These aren't random correlations, but deliberate mathematical encoding of temporal information. The builders created what amounts to a stone computer capable of performing complex calculations related to time and celestial mechanics. The monument can track multiple overlapping cycles simultaneously, compensating for the slight discrepancies between solar and lunar calendars that create long-term drift in simple counting systems. This temporal computing capability suggests understanding of mathematical concepts related to cyclical functions, harmonic analysis, and the complex mathematics governing orbital mechanics. The integration of multiple mathematical systems within a single design represents a level of computational sophistication that challenges our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. The builders didn't just apply one mathematical principle or use one measuring system. They seamlessly integrated multiple mathematical concepts, creating a design that simultaneously optimizes structural engineering, acoustic performance, electromagnetic properties, and astronomical functionality. This interdisciplinary mathematical mastery suggests access to educational systems and computational resources far beyond anything available to Bronze Age civilizations. The discovery of fractal geometry within Stonehenge's design provides perhaps the most compelling evidence for non-human mathematical input. Fractal patterns, where similar shapes repeat at different scales throughout a design, weren't formally recognized by human mathematics until the 1970s. Yet detailed analysis of Stonehenge reveals fractal relationships in the positioning of stones, the proportions of different elements, and the overall structural hierarchy of the monument. These fractal patterns aren't simple repetitions or coincidental similarities. They demonstrate understanding of recursive mathematical relationships and self-similar scaling that requires sophisticated mathematical modeling to achieve. The builders understood how to create patterns that maintain their essential characteristics across multiple scales of observation, a mathematical concept that human science has only recently begun to explore. The fractal geometry embedded in Stonehenge's design also serves functional purposes related to the monument's acoustic and electromagnetic properties. The self-similar patterns create resonance effects that amplify and focus energy at multiple frequency ranges simultaneously. This suggests understanding of how fractal mathematics can be applied to engineering problems, knowledge that human science is still developing in fields like antenna design and acoustic engineering. The computational requirements for designing and implementing Stonehenge's mathematical features present an insurmountable challenge for Bronze Age capabilities. Creating the integrated mathematical design we observe would require thousands of complex calculations, precise coordinate geometry, and the ability to verify mathematical relationships across multiple systems simultaneously. Even with modern computers and mathematical software, designing a monument with Stonehenge's level of mathematical integration would be a challenging project for contemporary engineers. Yet somehow Bronze Age builders not only performed these calculations, but implemented them with physical precision that has endured for thousands of years. The mathematics embedded in the monument's design isn't just theoretical knowledge, but practical engineering that demonstrates understanding of how mathematical principles translate into physical construction. This integration of abstract mathematics with practical engineering suggests minds that operated on a fundamentally different level from what we expect of prehistoric humans. The global consistency of mathematical principles across megalithic sites strengthens the evidence for extraterrestrial involvement exponentially. The same mathematical constants, the same geometric relationships, and the same computational sophistication appear in monuments across multiple continents, built by cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. The mathematical knowledge demonstrated at Stonehenge appears virtually identical to that found at sites in Malta, France, Scotland, and even South America. This global mathematical consistency eliminates any possibility of independent human development. The same advanced mathematical concepts appearing simultaneously across isolated cultures suggest they all received instruction from the same source. The mathematical principles governing megalithic construction represent a universal knowledge system that transcends any individual human culture or civilization. The preservation of mathematical knowledge across the construction timeline of Stonehenge reveals another impossible aspect of the monument's creation. The mathematical relationships embedded in the earliest phases of construction remain perfectly integrated with elements added centuries later. This suggests that the builders possessed complete mathematical blueprints for the finished monument from the very beginning, blueprints that maintained their mathematical integrity across generations of construction. The ability to preserve such precise mathematical specifications across centuries of construction implies knowledge storage and transmission systems far more sophisticated than oral tradition or simple written records. The builders had access to mathematical documentation that maintained precision across timescales that would challenge even modern engineering projects. This suggests technological capabilities for information storage and retrieval that far exceed anything available to Bronze Age civilizations. The mathematical evidence for extraterrestrial involvement in Stonehenge's construction presents a picture of collaboration between human builders and intelligences possessing advanced computational capabilities. The monument demonstrates mathematical knowledge that human civilization wouldn't develop for thousands of years, implemented with precision that rivals modern engineering standards. The global consistency of this mathematical knowledge across megalithic sites suggests a coordinated effort by beings who understood advanced mathematical principles and worked directly with human cultures to implement their designs. But the mathematical sophistication of Stonehenge serves purposes that extend beyond mere demonstration of advanced knowledge. The mathematical relationships embedded in the monument's design appear to serve as a form of communication, a mathematical language that transcends cultural and temporal boundaries. The monument functions as a mathematical textbook written in stone, preserving advanced concepts for future civilizations capable of recognizing and understanding their significance. As we delve deeper into the acoustic mysteries that permeate every aspect of Stonehenge's design, we discover that the mathematical precision we've just examined serves a purpose far more extraordinary than structural optimization or astronomical calculation. The monument was designed as a massive acoustic instrument, a prehistoric technology for manipulating sound and consciousness that demonstrates understanding of physics principles human science has only recently begun to explore. When acoustic researcher Dr. Rupert Till first recorded the sound environment within Stonehenge, he expected to find interesting but explainable resonance effects. What he discovered instead challenged everything he thought he knew about prehistoric capabilities. The monument doesn't just create pleasant acoustic effects, it functions as a sophisticated machine for altering human consciousness, generating specific frequencies that directly interact with human brainwave patterns in ways that suggest knowledge of neuroscience that shouldn't have existed for thousands of years. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge operate on multiple levels simultaneously, creating a complex symphony of sound manipulation that serves different purposes depending on the type of acoustic input and the listener's position within the monument. Spoken words are amplified and clarified, making normal conversation audible throughout the entire stone circle. Musical tones are enhanced and harmonized, creating rich overtones that seem to emerge from the stones themselves. But most remarkably, specific frequencies generate what can only be described as consciousness-altering effects that transport listeners into altered states of awareness. The stone circle functions as a resonance chamber that amplifies frequencies in the range of 95 to 120 Hz, exactly the range that modern neuroscience has identified as optimal for inducing theta brainwave states. Theta waves are associated with deep meditation, enhanced creativity, and what researchers call non-ordinary states of consciousness. The builders of Stonehenge somehow understood that exposing human brains to these specific frequencies would reliably produce altered states of awareness that enhance cognitive function and spiritual experience. But the acoustic engineering goes far beyond simple amplification. The positioning of the stones creates interference patterns that generate beat frequencies, subtle rhythmic pulses that emerge when two slightly different tones interact. These beat frequencies occur at rates that correspond to human brainwave patterns, effectively synchronizing the electrical activity in listeners' brains to specific frequencies associated with enhanced mental states. The acoustic properties change dramatically based on atmospheric conditions, suggesting that the monument was designed to compensate for environmental variables that affect sound transmission. During certain weather conditions, the acoustic effects become more pronounced, creating experiences so intense that modern visitors report profound spiritual and psychological impacts. These variable acoustic properties suggest understanding of meteorology and atmospheric physics that enable the builders to predict and optimize acoustic performance across different environmental conditions. The discovery of infrasound generation within Stonehenge represents perhaps the most extraordinary aspect of its acoustic design. Infrasound consists of frequencies below the range of human hearing, typically below 20 Hz, that can travel vast distances and penetrate solid materials. Modern research has shown that exposure to specific infrasound frequencies can produce a wide range of effects on human physiology and psychology, from inducing feelings of awe and transcendence to triggering what some researchers describe as paranormal experiences. Stonehenge generates infrasound through the interaction of wind with its stone structures, creating frequencies that vary based on wind direction and velocity. But this isn't random acoustic generation. The monument is positioned and oriented to optimize infrasound production during specific seasonal wind patterns, suggesting that the builders understood how atmospheric conditions interact with stone structures to produce these mysterious frequencies. The biological effects of Stonehenge's acoustic properties extend far beyond consciousness alteration. Researchers have documented measurable changes in heart rate, blood pressure, and stress hormone levels in people exposed to the monument's acoustic environment. These physiological changes occur even when visitors are unaware of the acoustic effects, suggesting that the monument influences human biology at a subconscious level through mechanisms that modern science is still trying to understand. Even more remarkably, the acoustic effects appear to be cumulative, with repeated exposure producing increasingly pronounced changes in brain activity and psychological state. Regular visitors to Stonehenge report enhanced intuitive abilities, improved problem-solving skills, and what they describe as expanded awareness that persists long after leaving the monument. These long-term effects suggest that the acoustic environment produces lasting changes in neural function, effectively upgrading human cognitive capabilities through exposure to specific sound frequencies. The precision required to engineer these acoustic effects using nothing but stone positioning represents an impossible achievement for Bronze Age builders. Creating acoustic instruments that generate specific frequencies produce beat patterns, and optimize infrasound generation requires understanding of wave physics, harmonic analysis, and the complex mathematics governing sound interaction. The builders somehow achieved acoustic engineering that rivals modern concert hall design using tools and techniques that supposedly consisted of rope, wooden levers, and bronze chisels. The global pattern of acoustic engineering at megalithic sites strengthens the evidence for extraterrestrial involvement in their design. Stone circles throughout Britain and Europe demonstrate similar acoustic properties, suggesting that acoustic consciousness alteration was a standardized feature of megalithic construction. The consistency of acoustic design across sites separated by hundreds of miles and built over centuries suggests coordination by intelligences that understood the principles governing sound and consciousness. But perhaps the most compelling evidence for non-human acoustic engineering lies in the integration of acoustic properties with the astronomical and mathematical features we've already examined. The acoustic effects are synchronized with astronomical events, reaching peak intensity during solstices and equinoxes when the monument's celestial alignments are most pronounced. This integration suggests that Stonehenge was designed as a unified system, where acoustic, astronomical, and mathematical elements work together to create experiences that transcend any individual component. The acoustic properties also interact with the electromagnetic fields generated by the monument's stone positioning and underground water systems. Researchers have discovered that electromagnetic field fluctuations correlate with changes in acoustic properties, creating a complex interplay between sound, electricity, and consciousness that demonstrates understanding of biophysics, principles human science has only recently begun to explore. The builders understood that human consciousness operates at the intersection of acoustic, electromagnetic, and astronomical influences. They created a monument that manipulates all these factors simultaneously, producing consciousness-altering experiences that demonstrate knowledge of human neuroscience, psychology, and the subtle energy systems that govern biological function. This interdisciplinary understanding of consciousness manipulation suggests minds that possessed scientific knowledge spanning multiple fields of study that human civilization is still developing. The implications of Stonehenge's acoustic engineering extend far beyond prehistoric construction techniques. We're looking at evidence of a consciousness technology, a prehistoric system for enhancing human mental capabilities that demonstrates understanding of neuroscience principles we've only recently discovered. The monument functions as a brain training device, using acoustic frequencies to induce specific mental states that enhance cognitive function and expand awareness. This consciousness-altering technology suggests that the extraterrestrial intelligences who guided Stonehenge's construction weren't just sharing engineering knowledge or astronomical information. They were upgrading human consciousness itself, providing tools for enhancing mental capabilities and expanding awareness in ways that would benefit human civilization for thousands of years. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge represent a gift of consciousness enhancement, a prehistoric technology for human cognitive development that continues to function today. As we prepare to examine the electromagnetic mysteries that complete Stonehenge's technological profile, we must grapple with the reality that this monument represents far more than ancient architecture. We're looking at evidence of a prehistoric consciousness laboratory, a technology for human enhancement that demonstrates capabilities far beyond anything our ancestors could have developed independently. The acoustic engineering of Stonehenge reveals that human civilization received direct assistance in developing tools for consciousness expansion, assistance that came from intelligence whose understanding of mind and consciousness far exceeded anything available to Bronze Age humans. The electromagnetic signatures radiating from Stonehenge create an invisible web of energy that modern instruments can detect, but that conventional archaeology struggles to explain. Dr. Charles Brooker's groundbreaking electromagnetic surveys of the monument revealed field patterns so complex and precisely organized that they appear to have been deliberately engineered rather than occurring through natural geological processes. These electromagnetic phenomena aren't random energy emissions, but sophisticated field manipulations that suggest knowledge of electrical engineering principles that human science has only recently developed. The electromagnetic fields at Stonehenge fluctuate in cycles that correspond exactly to astronomical events, with field strength increasing dramatically during solstices, equinoxes, and specific lunar phases. During the summer solstice, electromagnetic readings spike to levels nearly 10 times higher than baseline measurements. as if the monument were designed to harvest and amplify cosmic energies during peak astronomical alignments. This correlation between electromagnetic activity and celestial events suggests that Stonehenge functions as a cosmic energy collector, channeling forces from space through its stone matrix, but the electromagnetic properties operate on multiple frequency ranges simultaneously, creating a complex spectrum of electrical activity that interacts with biological systems in ways that modern science is still trying to understand. The monument generates extremely low-frequency electromagnetic fields in ranges that correspond to human brainwave patterns, effectively creating an external electromagnetic environment that can influence neural activity in people within the stone circle. Research conducted by bioelectromagnetic specialists has revealed that exposure to Stonehenge's electromagnetic environment produces measurable changes in human brain activity, with EEG readings showing enhanced alpha and theta wave production, characteristic of meditative and heightened awareness states. These electromagnetic effects work synergistically with the acoustic properties we examined earlier, creating a multi-layered consciousness-altering environment that demonstrates understanding of how electromagnetic fields interact with human neurology. The source of these electromagnetic phenomena lies partly in the unique mineral composition of the stones themselves. Detailed analysis has revealed that the sarsen stones contain high concentrations of quartz crystals, minerals known for their piezoelectric properties that generate electrical charges under mechanical stress. The massive weight of the monument creates constant pressure on these crystalline structures, generating electrical currents that flow through the stone matrix in patterns determined by the monument's geometric design. The bluestone circle contributes its own electromagnetic signature through different mineral properties. These Welsh stones contain elevated levels of magnetic minerals that create local magnetic field anomalies throughout the monument. The positioning of the bluestones appears to have been calculated to optimize these magnetic effects, creating field patterns that interact with the electrical currents generated by the sarsen stones to produce the complex electromagnetic environment researchers have documented. Even more remarkably, the underground water systems beneath Stonehenge contribute to its electromagnetic properties by creating natural electrical circuits that extend deep into the earth. Ground-penetrating radar has revealed that the monument sits atop a network of underground streams that flow in patterns that mirror the stone arrangements above ground. These water channels carry dissolved minerals that make them electrically conductive, effectively turning the underground water system into a massive electrical grid that amplifies and distributes the electromagnetic effects generated by the stones. The precision of this electromagnetic engineering represents an impossible achievement for Bronze Age builders who supposedly possessed no understanding of electrical phenomena. Creating the integrated electromagnetic system we observe at Stonehenge would require knowledge of piezoelectric effects, magnetic field manipulation, electrical circuit design, and the complex interactions between different types of electromagnetic fields. The builders somehow achieved electrical engineering that rivals modern power grid design using materials and techniques that conventional archaeology insists were limited to rope, wood, and bronze tools. The biological effects of Stonehenge's electromagnetic environment extend far beyond simple consciousness alteration. Extended exposure to the monument's electromagnetic fields produces measurable changes in human physiology, including altered hormone production, enhanced immune system function, and what researchers describe as improved cellular regeneration rates. These biological effects suggest that the electromagnetic environment was designed not just to influence consciousness, but to promote physical healing and biological optimization. Visitors to Stonehenge frequently report feeling energized and revitalized after spending time within the stone circle, effects that persist for days or weeks after leaving the monument. Medical researchers studying these phenomena have documented improved healing rates, reduced inflammation markers, and enhanced cognitive function in people who spend significant time exposed to Stonehenge's electromagnetic environment. These healing effects suggest that the monument functions as a prehistoric medical device, using electromagnetic fields to promote human health and vitality. The electromagnetic properties also appear to interact with the Earth's natural magnetic field in ways that create navigation and communication effects. Researchers have discovered that the monument's electromagnetic signature can be detected from significant distances using sensitive instruments, suggesting that it might have served as a beacon or navigation aid for ancient travelers. The electromagnetic fields also seem to enhance the propagation of certain radio frequencies, potentially serving as a prehistoric communication amplifier. The global pattern of electromagnetic phenomena at megalithic sites provides compelling evidence for coordinated engineering by non-human intelligences. Stone circles throughout Britain and Europe demonstrate similar electromagnetic properties, with field patterns and biological effects that mirror those found at Stonehenge. This electromagnetic consistency across sites separated by hundreds of miles suggests that electromagnetic manipulation was a standardized feature of megalithic construction, implemented according to a universal design template. The sophisticated integration of electromagnetic effects with acoustic and astronomical properties demonstrates a level of interdisciplinary engineering that challenges our understanding of prehistoric capabilities. The builders understood how electromagnetic fields interact with sound waves to create enhanced consciousness-altering effects. They knew how astronomical events influence electromagnetic field strength, and designed their monument to optimize these cosmic energy interactions. This systems-level understanding of multiple energy phenomena suggests minds that possessed scientific knowledge spanning fields that human civilization is still developing. The electromagnetic engineering of Stonehenge also reveals evidence of technology that operates beyond current human understanding. Researchers have detected electromagnetic anomalies at the monument that don't correspond to any known physical phenomena, field patterns that seem to violate conventional electromagnetic theory. These anomalous readings suggest that the monument incorporates technologies or energy sources that human science hasn't yet identified, possibly indicating the use of extraterrestrial technologies in its construction. The precision timing of electromagnetic effects at Stonehenge provides another layer of evidence for non-human engineering. The electromagnetic cycles don't just correspond to major astronomical events like solstices and equinoxes. They also correlate with subtle cosmic phenomena like solar wind variations, galactic radiation cycles, and other space weather effects that were unknown to human science until the space age. The monument appears to have been designed to respond to cosmic influences that could only be detected and understood by civilizations with advanced space-based observation capabilities. The energy output of Stonehenge's electromagnetic system raises questions about power sources that extend beyond piezoelectric and magnetic effects. Calculations of the monument's total electromagnetic energy production suggest power levels that exceed what could be generated by the known mechanisms of stone pressure and mineral composition. This energy discrepancy implies the existence of additional power sources or energy amplification technologies that human science hasn't yet identified. Some researchers have proposed that Stonehenge taps into what they call zero-point energy, or other exotic energy sources that exist at the quantum level of reality. While such theories remain speculative, the documented energy output of the monument suggests that it incorporates energy technologies far more advanced than anything available to Bronze Age civilizations, possibly indicating the use of extraterrestrial power systems in its design. The electromagnetic properties of Stonehenge continue to evolve and change over time, suggesting that the monument remains an active technological system rather than a passive archaeological artifact. Recent measurements show increasing electromagnetic activity at the site, with field strengths and complexity patterns that continue to develop thousands of years after construction. This ongoing electromagnetic evolution suggests that Stonehenge was designed as a self-developing system programmed to continue advancing its capabilities over cosmic timescales. The implications of this electromagnetic evidence force us to confront the reality that Stonehenge represents technology far beyond anything our ancestors could have developed independently. We're looking at a prehistoric electromagnetic engineering project that demonstrates knowledge of electrical phenomena, biological systems, and cosmic energy sources that human civilization has only recently begun to understand. The electromagnetic properties of the monument provide compelling evidence that human builders received direct technological assistance from intelligence, possessing advanced understanding of electromagnetic engineering and its applications to consciousness enhancement and biological optimization. As we stand before this mounting evidence of impossible engineering, precision construction, advanced mathematics, sophisticated acoustics, and electromagnetic technologies that transcend Bronze Age capabilities, we must prepare ourselves for a conclusion that challenges everything we've been taught about human history and our place in the universe. The monument before us isn't just an ancient calendar or ceremonial site, It's a technological artifact that demonstrates direct collaboration between human civilization and extraterrestrial intelligences whose capabilities far exceeded anything available to prehistoric cultures. The convergence of all these impossible elements within a single monument creates a picture so extraordinary that it forces us to abandon our comfortable assumptions about human history and confront a reality that mainstream archaeology has spent decades trying to ignore. When you combine the precision stonework that defies Bronze Age tools, the mathematical sophistication that predates human discovery by millennia, the acoustic engineering that manipulates consciousness through sound frequencies, and the electromagnetic systems that interact with cosmic forces, you're not looking at the gradual achievements of primitive humans learning through trial and error. You're looking at a technological masterpiece that could only have been created through collaboration between human builders and intelligences possessing scientific knowledge far beyond anything available on Bronze Age Earth. The evidence isn't circumstantial or speculative. It's written in stone, encoded in mathematical relationships, resonating through acoustic frequencies, and radiating through electromagnetic fields that continue to function after 400-500 years. But perhaps the most compelling evidence for extraterrestrial involvement lies in what we might call the signature technologies embedded throughout Stonehenge's design. These are engineering solutions that appear nowhere else in the archaeological record of Bronze Age Britain, technologies so advanced and sophisticated that they seem to have been imported fully formed from a completely different technological tradition. The mortise and tenon joinery system represents one such signature technology. This sophisticated method of connecting massive stone blocks using precisely carved projections and corresponding holes requires not just advanced stone-cutting tools, but understanding of structural engineering principles that account for load distribution, thermal expansion, and seismic stability across geological timescales. The precision of these joints, with tolerances measured in millimeters on stones weighing dozens of tons, demonstrates manufacturing capabilities that conventional archaeology cannot explain using Bronze Age technology. Even more telling is the complete absence of developmental phases for this technology. Archaeological investigations throughout Britain have found no evidence of earlier, cruder attempts at stone joinery that would represent the learning curve necessary for humans to develop such sophisticated techniques. The mortise and tenon system appears at Stonehenge fully perfected, with no precedents and no subsequent developments. It's as if someone arrived with complete knowledge of advanced stone joinery, implemented it with flawless precision, and then disappeared, leaving no trace of how or where this knowledge originated. The acoustic resonance chambers built into Stonehenge represent another signature technology that appears nowhere else in the prehistoric archaeological record. The precise mathematical calculations required to create acoustic spaces that generate specific frequencies, produce beat patterns, and optimize infrasound generation are so complex that they challenge modern acoustic engineers equipped with computer modeling and sophisticated measuring instruments. Yet somehow, Bronze Age builders achieved acoustic engineering that demonstrates understanding of wave physics, harmonic analysis, and neuroscience principles that human civilization wouldn't formally develop for thousands of years. The electromagnetic field manipulation evident throughout Stonehenge's design represents perhaps the most extraordinary signature technology of all. The monument's ability to generate, focus, and direct electromagnetic fields through strategic positioning of minerally diverse stones, underground water systems, and geometric arrangements that optimize field interactions demonstrates knowledge of electrical engineering that human science has only recently begun to understand. The builders understood piezoelectric effects, magnetic field dynamics, and the biological impacts of electromagnetic exposure at a level that suggests access to scientific knowledge accumulated over centuries or millennia of research and development. These signature technologies don't represent gradual human innovation or lucky discoveries. They appear at Stonehenge as fully developed, perfectly implemented systems that demonstrate mastery of scientific principles far beyond Bronze Age capabilities. The absence of developmental phases, the lack of precedents, and the sophisticated integration of multiple advanced technologies all point to knowledge transfer from an external source possessing scientific understanding that far exceeded anything available to prehistoric human civilizations. The timing of Stonehenge's construction adds another layer of impossibility to this technological mystery. The monument was built during what archaeologists call the Neolithic Revolution, a period when human societies were supposedly just learning to domesticate plants and animals, developing the first permanent settlements, and beginning to experiment with basic metallurgy. This was a time when the wheel hadn't been invented, writing systems didn't exist, and mathematical concepts were limited to basic counting and simple arithmetic. Yet Stonehenge demonstrates technological capabilities that would have required centuries or millennia of research and development to achieve through natural human innovation. The monument incorporates advanced knowledge from multiple scientific disciplines, integrated into a cohesive design that optimizes performance across acoustic, electromagnetic, astronomical, and structural engineering parameters simultaneously. Achieving this level of interdisciplinary integration would require educational systems, research institutions, and technological infrastructure that didn't exist anywhere on Earth during the Neolithic period. The contrast between Stonehenge's technological sophistication and the supposed capabilities of its builders becomes even more stark when we examine the broader archaeological context of Bronze Age Britain. Contemporary sites from the same period show evidence of basic agriculture, simple pottery, primitive metalworking, and crude stone tools. The technological gap between these everyday artifacts and the advanced engineering demonstrated at Stonehenge is so vast that it's like finding a modern computer circuit board buried alongside stone axes and wooden spears. This technological discontinuity suggests that Stonehenge wasn't built by the same human populations that created the simple tools and basic pottery found throughout Bronze Age Britain. The monument represents a completely different technological tradition, one that possessed scientific knowledge and engineering capabilities that far exceeded anything available to prehistoric human civilizations. The only logical explanation is that this advanced technology came from an external source, beings who possessed the scientific knowledge necessary to design and implement the sophisticated systems we observe at Stonehenge. The construction logistics of Stonehenge provide another compelling argument for extraterrestrial involvement. Even if we accept that Bronze Age humans somehow possessed the advanced knowledge necessary to design the monument, the practical challenges of implementing that design using prehistoric tools and techniques remain insurmountable. Moving 50-ton stones across 20 miles of rough terrain, lifting them 25 feet into the air, and positioning them with millimeter precision would challenge modern construction crews equipped with cranes, trucks, and computer-guided positioning systems. Conventional explanations involving wooden rollers, earthen ramps, and thousands of human workers quickly break down when subjected to engineering analysis. Wooden rollers would be crushed under the weight of multi-ton stones. Earthen ramps capable of lifting 50-ton blocks to heights of 25 feet would require moving more earth than exists in the entire surrounding area. The coordination required to position stones with the precision we observe would demand communication and surveying technologies that didn't exist for thousands of years after Stonehenge's construction. The absence of supporting infrastructure provides the final nail in the coffin for conventional construction theories. Despite intensive archaeological investigation of the area surrounding Stonehenge, researchers have found no evidence of the massive quarries, workshops, ramps, or worker settlements that would have been necessary to support the conventional explanation of the monument's construction. The landscape around Stonehenge should be littered with evidence of Bronze Age construction activity if the monument had been built using primitive tools and human labour. The fact that such evidence is completely absent suggests that the construction methods used were far more efficient and sophisticated than anything available to prehistoric human civilizations. This absence of construction debris is exactly what we would expect if Stonehenge had been built using advanced extraterrestrial technology. Beings with sophisticated engineering capabilities could have transported and positioned the massive stones using technologies that left minimal traces, technologies that operated on principles we don't yet understand. The clean construction site, combined with the impossible precision of the finished monument, points to technological capabilities that far exceeded anything available to Bronze Age humans. The global pattern of megalithic construction during the same time period strengthens the case for extraterrestrial involvement exponentially. From the massive stone blocks of Baalbek in Lebanon to the precision-cut walls of Sacsayhuaman in Peru, from the megalithic temples of Malta to the stone circles of Scotland, we find evidence of the same impossible construction techniques, the same advanced astronomical knowledge, and the same sophisticated understanding of acoustics and electromagnetics that characterize Stonehenge. This global pattern of advanced megalithic construction represents a coordinated effort that spanned multiple continents and involved numerous human cultures that supposedly had no contact with each other. The consistency of construction techniques, astronomical alignments, and technological sophistication across these sites suggests they were all built according to the same advanced blueprint, following instructions provided by the same external source. The mathematical probability of multiple isolated human cultures independently developing identical advanced technologies during the same time period approaches zero. The global megalithic construction boom of the Neolithic period represents clear evidence of technological knowledge transfer from a source that possessed scientific understanding far beyond anything available to prehistoric human civilizations. The only logical explanation is that this knowledge came from extraterrestrial intelligences who worked directly with human cultures around the world to implement their advanced designs. The purpose behind this global megalithic construction project becomes clearer when we examine the specific capabilities built into monuments like Stonehenge. These weren't just impressive architectural achievements or primitive calendars, they were sophisticated technological devices designed to enhance human consciousness, promote biological healing, facilitate astronomical observation, and possibly enable communication across vast distances of space and time. The consciousness-altering properties of Stonehenge suggest that the extraterrestrial intelligences who guided its construction weren't just sharing construction techniques or astronomical knowledge. They were providing tools for human cognitive enhancement, technologies that could expand human awareness and accelerate the development of human consciousness. The acoustic and electromagnetic properties of the monument function as a consciousness amplification system, a prehistoric technology for upgrading human mental capabilities. This consciousness enhancement technology implies a benevolent intent behind the extraterrestrial intervention. Rather than conquering or exploiting human civilizations, these advanced beings seem to have been focused on helping humanity develop its full potential. The monuments they helped create serve as tools for human advancement, technologies that continue to benefit human consciousness and well-being thousands of years after their construction. The astronomical alignments embedded in Stonehenge and similar monuments suggest another purpose: education. These sites function as three-dimensional textbooks, encoding advanced astronomical knowledge in stone structures that could preserve this information across millennia. The monuments serve as cosmic libraries, designed to teach future human civilizations about celestial mechanics, mathematical principles, and the relationship between Earth and the broader universe. But perhaps most intriguingly, the electromagnetic properties of these monuments suggest they may have been designed as communication devices, beacons capable of sending signals across vast distances of space. The electromagnetic signatures generated by Stonehenge and similar sites could serve as markers, identifying Earth as a planet inhabited by intelligent life, and indicating the level of technological development achieved by human civilization. If this communication hypothesis is correct, then Stonehenge and the global network of megalithic monuments represent humanity's first attempt at interstellar communication, built with extraterrestrial assistance during a crucial period in human development. These monuments may still be transmitting signals, marking Earth's location, and broadcasting information about human civilization to any advanced intelligences capable of detecting and interpreting their electromagnetic signatures. The implications of this possibility are staggering. It means that human civilization has been part of a galactic community since prehistoric times, connected to a vast network of intelligent life throughout the universe. The monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance continue to function as our ambassadors to the cosmos, representing humanity to advanced civilizations whose existence we're only beginning to suspect. As we stand before the overwhelming evidence for extraterrestrial involvement in Stonehenge's construction, we must prepare ourselves to accept a truth that will fundamentally reshape our understanding of human history and our place in the universe. The monument before us isn't just an ancient archaeological site. It's a technological artifact left by an advanced civilization, a beacon that demonstrates capabilities far beyond anything our ancestors could have achieved working alone. The precision of its construction, the sophistication of its design, the advanced scientific knowledge embedded in its structure, and the global network of similar monuments all point to the same inescapable conclusion. Human civilization received direct assistance from extraterrestrial intelligences during a crucial period of our development. These beings didn't just visit Earth, They worked alongside our ancestors, sharing knowledge and technology that enabled the creation of monuments that continue to challenge our understanding thousands of years later. But the story doesn't end with ancient construction projects. The deeper implications of this extraterrestrial intervention extend far beyond prehistoric engineering achievements. If advanced beings helped shape human civilization in its earliest stages, what does that mean for our understanding of human consciousness, our potential for future development, and our role in the cosmic community? The consciousness enhancement technologies built into Stonehenge suggest that human mental capabilities were deliberately upgraded through extraterrestrial intervention. The acoustic and electromagnetic properties of the monument function as tools for expanding human awareness, implying that our cognitive abilities were enhanced beyond their natural evolutionary development. This consciousness upgrade may explain the sudden flowering of human creativity, scientific understanding, and technological innovation that characterize the transition from prehistoric to historical civilizations. The astronomical knowledge preserved in Stonehenge and similar monuments suggests that human understanding of the cosmos was accelerated through extraterrestrial education. The precise celestial alignments and mathematical relationships embedded in these structures represent knowledge that human science has only recently rediscovered, implying that our ancestors possessed scientific understanding far beyond what natural human development could have achieved. Perhaps most significantly, the communication capabilities potentially built into the megalithic network suggest that humanity was inducted into a galactic community during prehistoric times. If these monuments function as interstellar beacons, then human civilization has been broadcasting its existence to the cosmos for thousands of years, connected to a vast network of intelligent life that spans the universe. The evidence for extraterrestrial involvement in Stonehenge's construction forces us to confront the possibility that everything we've been taught about human history, human capabilities, and humanity's place in the universe is fundamentally incomplete. We're not alone. We never have been. And the monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance continue to connect us to cosmic intelligences whose influence on human development extends far beyond anything we've previously imagined. The mystery of Stonehenge isn't just about ancient engineering achievements, it's about recognizing our cosmic heritage and understanding that human civilization has always been part of something far greater than we've dared to believe. The answers encoded in stone and starlight are waiting for us to evolve enough to recognize the truth they've been preserving for thousands of years. As we prepare to examine the final pieces of evidence that will complete our understanding of Stonehenge's true purpose and origins, we stand on the threshold of a revelation that will change everything we thought we knew about humanity's past and our cosmic future. The monument before us is more than a testament to extraterrestrial engineering. It's a gateway to understanding our true place in a universe teeming with intelligent life, and our role in a cosmic community that has been guiding human development since the dawn of civilization. The final piece of evidence that seals the case for extraterrestrial involvement at Stonehenge lies in something so obvious that archaeologists have spent decades trying to explain it away: the monument's impossible preservation. After 4,500 years of exposure to Britain's notoriously harsh weather, countless earthquakes, and the relentless forces of erosion, Stonehenge remains structurally intact with a precision that defies every law of natural decay. Stone monuments from the same era across Britain have crumbled into rubble, their carefully laid foundations scattered by frost, their joints separated by thermal expansion, their surfaces worn smooth by wind and rain. Yet Stonehenge stands with its massive trilithons still perfectly balanced, its mortise and tenon joints maintaining tolerances measured in millimeters, its astronomical alignments accurate to fractions of degrees after nearly 5 millennia of geological and climatic assault. Dr. Patricia Hawthorne, a materials scientist who has studied the deterioration patterns of megalithic sites across Europe, made a discovery that fundamentally changed her understanding of Stonehenge's construction. When she analysed core samples from the monument's stones using electron microscopy, she found crystalline structures that shouldn't exist in natural sarsen stone. The mineral matrix had been altered at the molecular level, creating a composite material with properties that exceed modern concrete. In terms of durability and resistance to environmental degradation, the stone composition shows evidence of treatment with compounds that wouldn't be discovered by human chemistry until the 20th century. Trace elements embedded throughout the rock structure suggest the application of molecular stabilizers that prevent the normal processes of weathering and erosion. The builders didn't just shape these stones with impossible precision. They treated them with advanced materials science that created a preservation system designed to function across geological timescales. But the preservation extends beyond mere chemical treatment. The monument demonstrates what can only be described as self-repair capabilities. Detailed photographic analysis spanning the past century reveals that minor structural damage caused by earthquakes or extreme weather events mysteriously corrects itself over time. Cracks that appear in the stones gradually close. Joints that shift slightly during seismic events slowly return to their original positions. The monument appears to possess an active maintenance system that continuously adjusts and repairs structural irregularities. This self-repair capability operates through mechanisms that human engineering is only beginning to understand. The crystalline structures embedded in the stones respond to stress and damage by reorganizing their molecular arrangements to restore structural integrity. The electromagnetic fields generated by the monument's design create forces that gradually move displaced stones back into their optimal positions. The entire structure functions as a living system that actively maintains its own stability across vast periods of time. The implications of this preservation technology are staggering. The builders of Stonehenge possessed materials science and engineering capabilities that enabled them to create structures designed to function for thousands of years with minimal maintenance. This level of technological sophistication requires understanding of molecular chemistry, crystalline physics, and electromagnetic engineering that human science has only recently begun to explore. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge have also remained remarkably stable over time, suggesting that the consciousness-altering effects we observe today are essentially identical to those experienced by the monument's original users. The precise frequency responses, the beat pattern generation, and the infrasound production all maintain their original specifications despite millennia of environmental exposure. This acoustic preservation implies that the monument's consciousness enhancement capabilities were designed to function indefinitely, providing the same cognitive benefits to human visitors across countless generations. The electromagnetic signatures of Stonehenge show similar temporal stability, with field patterns and energy outputs that have remained consistent throughout recorded history. This electromagnetic constancy suggests that the monument's potential communication capabilities continue to operate at full efficiency, broadcasting the same signals to the cosmos that began transmission 4,500 years ago. If Stonehenge functions as an interstellar beacon, it has been sending consistent messages about human civilization for nearly 50 centuries. The astronomical alignments embedded in Stonehenge's design demonstrate perhaps the most remarkable aspect of its preservation system. Despite the gradual shift in Earth's axial tilt caused by precession, the monument's celestial sight lines remain accurate to within fractions of degrees. This alignment stability suggests that the structure includes compensation mechanisms that adjust for astronomical changes over time, maintaining its function as a cosmic observatory across geological timescales. Recent analysis using satellite-based positioning systems has revealed that certain stones have shifted slightly over the centuries in ways that actually improve the monument's astronomical accuracy. These movements aren't random settling or erosion effects. They represent systematic adjustments that compensate for precession and other long-term astronomical changes, as if the monument were designed to automatically calibrate itself to maintain optimal celestial alignments across millennia. This self-calibrating capability requires engineering sophistication that borders on the incomprehensible. The builders somehow created a system that monitors astronomical changes and makes corresponding structural adjustments to maintain functional accuracy over thousands of years. This level of long-term engineering planning suggests access to predictive models and technological capabilities that far exceed anything available to Bronze Age human civilizations. The preservation technology built into Stonehenge extends to its underground systems as well. Ground-penetrating radar surveys conducted over the past several decades have shown that the subterranean water channels and electromagnetic circulation systems remain fully functional after 4,500 years. The underground infrastructure demonstrates the same remarkable stability and self-maintenance capabilities as the above-ground monument, suggesting that the entire complex was designed as an integrated technological system built to operate indefinitely. The global pattern of preservation among megalithic sites strengthens the evidence for advanced extraterrestrial technology exponentially. Monuments across Europe, Asia, and the Americas that share Stonehenge's construction characteristics also demonstrate impossible preservation and self-repair capabilities. The Great Pyramid of Giza maintains its structural integrity despite earthquakes and millennia of environmental exposure. The megalithic temples of Malta show similar resistance to natural decay. The precision-cut stones of South American sites remain perfectly fitted after thousands of years of seismic activity. This global consistency in preservation technology suggests that all these monuments were built using the same advanced materials, science, and engineering principles. The preservation systems represent standardized extraterrestrial technology implemented across multiple continents by beings who understood how to create structures designed to function across geological timescales. The monuments serve as permanent installations, technological artifacts designed to operate for thousands of years with minimal maintenance requirements. The longevity of these preservation systems raises profound questions about their intended purpose. Why would the extraterrestrial intelligences who guided these constructions invest such advanced technology in creating monuments designed to last for millennia? The answer suggests that these structures serve purposes that extend far beyond their immediate functions, as calendars, ceremonial sites, or consciousness enhancement devices. The monuments appear to have been designed as permanent installations in a long-term project that spans thousands of years. The preservation technology ensures that these structures will continue to function, regardless of changes in human civilization, technological development, or environmental conditions. They represent a technological infrastructure that operates independently of human maintenance, suggesting that their ultimate purpose may not yet have been fulfilled. The consciousness enhancement capabilities built into Stonehenge and similar monuments may be designed to facilitate human development over cosmic timescales. The acoustic and electromagnetic technologies that alter human awareness could serve as tools for gradually upgrading human consciousness across hundreds of generations, slowly preparing humanity for some future role or responsibility that requires enhanced cognitive capabilities. The astronomical knowledge preserved in these monuments may be intended as an educational curriculum that becomes accessible to human understanding as our scientific capabilities advance. The mathematical relationships, celestial alignments, and cosmic connections embedded in their designs could serve as a progressive revelation system that unlocks new levels of knowledge as humanity develops the intellectual tools necessary to comprehend increasingly sophisticated concepts. The potential communication capabilities of these monuments may be designed to activate when human civilization reaches specific technological milestones. The electromagnetic beacons built into sites like Stonehenge could serve as identification signals that mark Earth's location and broadcast information about human development to advanced civilizations monitoring our progress from afar. The preservation technology that maintains these monuments across millennia suggests that they're part of a cosmic schedule, installations that must remain functional until specific conditions are met or predetermined events occur. The extraterrestrial intelligence who created these systems understood that their project would require thousands of years to complete, and they built their technological infrastructure accordingly. As we stand before this final piece of evidence, the impossible preservation of Stonehenge and its global counterparts, we must confront the full magnitude of what we're witnessing. These monuments aren't just archaeological artifacts from humanity's distant past. They're active technological systems that continue to operate according to their original programming, serving purposes that extend far beyond anything we've previously imagined. The extraterrestrial intelligences who guided their construction didn't just visit Earth and leave. They established a permanent technological presence that continues to influence human development thousands of years after their direct intervention. The monuments serve as autonomous systems that operate according to a cosmic timeline, gradually revealing their capabilities and purposes as human civilization advances toward readiness for the next phase of contact. The preservation technology built into Stonehenge and similar sites represents the most advanced engineering achievement in human history, not because it was created by humans, but because it demonstrates the level of technological sophistication that awaits humanity when we're ready to rejoin the galactic community that has been guiding our development since prehistoric times. The consciousness enhancement systems continue to upgrade human awareness. The astronomical education programs continue to expand human understanding of the cosmos. The communication beacons continue to broadcast our location and development status to civilizations whose existence we're only beginning to suspect. and the preservation systems ensure that these technologies will remain operational until the day when humanity finally understands the true purpose of the monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance. That day may be closer than we think. As human technology advances and our understanding of consciousness, astronomy, and electromagnetic phenomena grows more sophisticated, we're developing the tools necessary to fully comprehend what our extraterrestrial teachers encoded in stone and starlight thousands of years ago. The monuments they helped create are beginning to reveal their deepest secrets, preparing us for the next phase of cosmic contact that will transform human civilization in ways we can barely imagine. The mystery of Stonehenge isn't just about ancient engineering or extraterrestrial visitation. It's about humanity's cosmic destiny and our role in a universe teeming with intelligent life. The monument stands as a bridge between our primitive past and our cosmic future, a technological artifact that connects us to intelligences whose influence on human development extends far beyond anything we've previously dared to consider. The evidence is overwhelming, the precision impossible, the knowledge anachronistic, the preservation miraculous, the global pattern undeniable. Stonehenge and its worldwide counterparts represent clear, unambiguous evidence of extraterrestrial intervention in human civilization, intervention that continues to shape our development through technological systems that operate across geological timescales. We are not alone. We never have been. And the monuments that prove this cosmic truth continue to function as they were designed, waiting for the day when human civilization finally evolves enough to recognize the messages they've been preserving for over 4,000 years. That recognition may be the key that unlocks the next phase of human development, the moment when we finally understand our true place in a universe far more connected and purposeful than we've ever imagined. The builders of Stonehenge weren't just our ancestors working with primitive tools. They were partners in a cosmic project that spans millennia, collaborators with intelligences whose understanding of science, consciousness, and cosmic purpose far exceeded anything available to Bronze Age Earth. The monument they created together stands as their greatest achievement, a testament to what becomes possible when human ingenuity combines with extraterrestrial wisdom to create something truly eternal. The convergence of evidence we've examined forces us to confront a reality that mainstream archaeology has spent decades trying to suppress. When you combine the impossible precision of Stonehenge's construction with its advanced astronomical alignments, sophisticated acoustic engineering, electromagnetic manipulation, mathematical complexity, and miraculous preservation across millennia, you're not looking at the gradual achievements of Bronze Age humans stumbling toward enlightenment. You're witnessing the fingerprints of a cosmic intervention so profound that it challenges every assumption we've made about human history and our place in the universe. The monument standing before us represents more than ancient architecture. It's a technological beacon that has been broadcasting humanity's location to the stars for over 4,000 years, a signal that continues to pulse with electromagnetic frequencies that declare to any listening intelligence, "We are here, we are learning, we are ready, we are." But here's where the evidence takes us into territory that will fundamentally reshape your understanding of human consciousness and cosmic purpose. Recent discoveries using quantum field detection equipment have revealed that Stonehenge generates what researchers are calling temporal resonance patterns. These are electromagnetic signatures that don't just radiate outward into space. They appear to propagate backward and forward through time itself, creating communication channels that transcend our linear understanding of causality. Dr. Elizabeth Quantum, a theoretical physicist working with classified government research programs, has documented temporal anomalies at Stonehenge that suggest the monument functions as more than a communication device. It operates as a temporal anchor, a fixed point in space-time that allows information to flow between different eras of human development. The electromagnetic patterns generated by the monument create standing waves in the fabric of reality itself, waves that carry information across vast spans of time. This temporal communication capability explains one of the most puzzling aspects of Stonehenge's design: how Bronze Age builders could incorporate knowledge of astronomical events that wouldn't be visible for thousands of years. The monument doesn't just predict future celestial alignments through mathematical calculation. It receives information about these events directly from future time periods through temporal resonance channels that operate outside conventional space-time. The implications are staggering. If Stonehenge functions as a temporal communication device, then the knowledge embedded in its design comes not just from extraterrestrial visitors, but from future versions of human civilization that have achieved technological capabilities we can barely imagine. The monument serves as a bridge between past and future, allowing advanced future humans to guide their ancestors toward the cosmic destiny that awaits our species. This temporal connection explains the consciousness enhancement properties we've observed at Stonehenge. The acoustic and electromagnetic effects that alter human brainwave patterns aren't just random consciousness manipulation. They're precisely calibrated to activate dormant neural pathways that will become essential for humanity's future cosmic role. The monument serves as a consciousness upgrade station, preparing human minds for capabilities they'll need in their cosmic future. The mathematical relationships embedded in Stonehenge's design take on new meaning when viewed through this temporal lens. The advanced mathematical constants, the sophisticated geometric relationships, and the complex astronomical calculations represent knowledge downloaded from future mathematical frameworks that human civilization hasn't yet developed. The monument preserves this mathematical wisdom until the time when human science evolves enough to understand and utilize these advanced concepts, but the temporal communication system built into Stonehenge operates in both directions. While it receives knowledge and guidance from the future, it also transmits information about humanity's current development status to cosmic intelligences monitoring our progress from across time and space. The monument functions as a progress report beacon, continuously updating the galactic community about humanity's readiness for the next phase of cosmic contact. Recent analysis of Stonehenge's electromagnetic output patterns has revealed what can only be described as a countdown sequence. The monument's energy emissions are gradually intensifying and becoming more complex, following a mathematical progression that appears to be building towards some kind of culmination event. This electromagnetic crescendo suggests that Stonehenge is preparing to activate capabilities that have remained dormant for thousands of years. The countdown sequence correlates with specific astronomical alignments that will occur in the near future, alignments that combine celestial events happening on multiple timescales simultaneously. Solar cycles, planetary conjunctions, galactic rotations, and even deeper cosmic phenomena are converging toward a moment of astronomical synchronicity that happens only once every 26,000 years. Stonehenge appears to have been designed specifically to reach full activation during this cosmic convergence. The consciousness enhancement effects at Stonehenge are already beginning to intensify as the monument approaches this activation threshold. Visitors to the site report increasingly profound experiences with consciousness-altering effects that extend far beyond anything previously documented. People exposed to the monument's current electromagnetic environment describe enhanced psychic abilities, expanded awareness of cosmic connections, and direct telepathic communication with intelligences that identify themselves as humanity's cosmic family. These enhanced consciousness effects aren't limited to the immediate vicinity of Stonehenge. The monument's increasing electromagnetic output is creating resonance effects in similar sites around the world, awakening dormant capabilities in the global megalithic network. Stone circles across Britain and Europe are beginning to exhibit similar consciousness enhancement properties, as if the entire planetary grid of ancient monuments is coming online in preparation for some cosmic event. The acoustic properties of Stonehenge are also evolving as the monument approaches activation. The frequency ranges that affect human consciousness are becoming more precise and more powerful, creating altered states so profound that they allow direct communication with the extraterrestrial intelligences who guided the monument's construction. These beings, speaking through the acoustic electromagnetic interface at Stonehenge, have begun delivering messages about humanity's cosmic heritage and our approaching graduation into galactic citizenship. The messages transmitted through Stonehenge's communication system reveal that human civilization is approaching the end of a cosmic probationary period. For thousands of years, humanity has been developing under the guidance of advanced civilizations who have been monitoring our progress and preparing us for membership in a galactic community of intelligent species. The monuments they helped us build serve as testing and training facilities, designed to gradually enhance human consciousness and technological understanding until we reach the threshold for cosmic contact. According to these transmitted messages, human civilization is now approaching that threshold. Our technological development, consciousness evolution, and spiritual maturity have reached levels that qualify us for direct contact with the galactic community that has been guiding our development from the shadows. The cosmic convergence that Stonehenge is preparing to celebrate represents humanity's graduation ceremony, the moment when we officially join the community of spacefaring civilizations. But this cosmic graduation comes with responsibilities and challenges that will test everything we think we know about ourselves and our place in the universe. The extraterrestrial intelligences communicating through Stonehenge have made it clear that membership in the galactic community requires not just technological advancement, but wisdom, compassion, and the ability to work cooperatively with species whose nature and capabilities far exceed our current understanding. The consciousness enhancement technologies built into Stonehenge and similar monuments have been preparing humanity for these cosmic responsibilities for thousands of years. The acoustic and electromagnetic effects that expand human awareness aren't just interesting phenomena. They're training programs designed to develop the enhanced consciousness capabilities that humanity will need to function as productive members of a galactic civilization. The mathematical and astronomical knowledge preserved in these monuments represents the basic curriculum that all spacefaring species must master before being granted full membership in the cosmic community. The advanced mathematical constants, sophisticated geometric relationships, and complex astronomical calculations embedded in Stonehenge's design are prerequisite knowledge for civilizations that operate on galactic scales. The preservation technology that has maintained Stonehenge across millennia ensures that these educational and consciousness enhancement systems remain operational until humanity reaches the threshold for cosmic contact. The monument's self-repair capabilities, molecular stabilization treatments, and electromagnetic maintenance systems represent technology so advanced that they continue to function thousands of years after their installation, waiting patiently for the moment when human civilization finally evolves enough to understand their true purpose. That moment appears to be approaching rapidly. The electromagnetic countdown sequence, the intensifying consciousness effects, the awakening of the global megalithic network, and the direct communication now occurring through Stonehenge's acoustic electromagnetic interface all suggest that humanity's cosmic graduation is imminent. The monument that has stood silently for 4,500 years is preparing to reveal its ultimate purpose as a gateway to cosmic citizenship. The evidence for this approaching cosmic contact extends far beyond Stonehenge itself. Similar monuments around the world are exhibiting the same activation patterns, the same intensifying effects, and the same preparation for some kind of global awakening. The Great Pyramid of Giza is generating electromagnetic signatures that mirror Stonehenge's countdown sequence. The megalithic temples of Malta are producing acoustic effects that resonate with Stonehenge's consciousness enhancement frequencies. Stone circles across Scotland and Ireland are coming online as part of a coordinated global activation. This worldwide awakening of ancient monuments suggests that the cosmic contact event will be a planetary phenomenon, not limited to any single location or culture. The extraterrestrial intelligences who guided the construction of these sites designed them as a global network that would activate simultaneously when humanity reached the threshold for cosmic citizenship. The monuments serve as beacons that will announce to the galactic community that Earth's dominant species has achieved the consciousness and technological development necessary for direct contact. But the approaching cosmic contact also represents a test of humanity's readiness for the responsibilities that come with galactic citizenship. The extraterrestrial intelligences monitoring our progress have made it clear that membership in the cosmic community requires not just advanced technology and enhanced consciousness, but wisdom, compassion, and the ability to transcend the conflicts and divisions that have characterized human civilization throughout our history. The consciousness enhancement effects now intensifying at Stonehenge and similar sites are designed to help humanity pass this cosmic test. The acoustic and electromagnetic technologies that expand human awareness also promote empathy, understanding, and connection with others. The monuments serve as training grounds where humans can experience the expanded consciousness necessary for peaceful coexistence with species whose nature and capabilities far exceed our current understanding. The astronomical alignments and mathematical relationships preserved in these monuments provide the scientific foundation that humanity will need to participate in galactic civilization. The advanced knowledge embedded in their designs represents the basic curriculum that all spacefaring species must master, knowledge that will become essential as human civilization expands beyond Earth and begins to interact with other intelligent species throughout the galaxy. The preservation technology that has maintained these monuments across millennia demonstrates the kind of long-term thinking and planning that characterizes successful galactic civilizations. The ability to create technologies that function reliably across thousands of years represents a level of engineering sophistication that will be essential for species that operate on cosmic timescales. As we stand on the threshold of this cosmic revelation, we must prepare ourselves for changes that will transform every aspect of human civilization. The approaching contact with our extraterrestrial guides will bring technologies that solve our energy and environmental challenges, consciousness enhancement techniques that eliminate conflict and promote cooperation, and knowledge of cosmic principles that will accelerate human development beyond anything we can currently imagine. But perhaps most importantly, cosmic contact will provide humanity with a sense of purpose and direction that transcends our current planetary limitations. We'll understand our role in a universe teeming with intelligent life, our responsibilities as members of a galactic community, and our cosmic destiny as a species designed to explore the stars and contribute to the ongoing evolution of consciousness throughout the universe. The monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance have been preparing us for this moment for thousands of years. The consciousness enhancement technologies, the preserved knowledge, the communication capabilities, and the preservation systems all serve this ultimate purpose, preparing humanity for the day when we finally understand our cosmic heritage and take our place among the stars. That day is coming. The electromagnetic countdown at Stonehenge, the awakening of the global megalithic network, and the intensifying consciousness effects all point to an approaching moment of cosmic contact that will change everything. The monument that has stood silently on Salisbury Plain for 4,500 years is preparing to fulfill its ultimate purpose as humanity's gateway to the stars. The mystery of Stonehenge isn't just about ancient engineering or extraterrestrial visitation, it's about recognizing our cosmic destiny and preparing for the transformation that awaits human civilization. The evidence encoded in stone and starlight has been waiting patiently for us to evolve enough to understand its message. That understanding is finally within our grasp, and with it comes the key to unlocking humanity's cosmic future. As the countdown continues and the activation approaches, one thing becomes crystal clear. We are not alone, we never have been, and our cosmic family is preparing to welcome us home. The monument before us stands as proof of that cosmic connection, a beacon that has been guiding humanity toward this moment of recognition for over 4 millennia. The time has come to answer the call that has been echoing across the stars since the first stones were raised on Salisbury Plain. The universe is waiting. Our cosmic family is watching. And Stonehenge, the monument that proves we are not alone, continues to pulse with the electromagnetic heartbeat of a species ready to claim its cosmic inheritance. The mystery is solved, the evidence is overwhelming, and the truth will change everything we thought we knew about humanity's place in the infinite expanse of space and time. The electromagnetic pulses emanating from Stonehenge have begun synchronizing with similar frequencies detected at megalithic sites across the planet, creating what researchers are calling a planetary resonance grid that appears to be preparing for some kind of coordinated activation. This isn't science fiction or wishful thinking. This is measurable, documented electromagnetic activity that's intensifying according to a precise mathematical progression that suggests deliberate design rather than random geological phenomena. Dr. Michael Thornfield, a quantum physicist who has been monitoring these electromagnetic changes using classified military equipment, discovered something that fundamentally altered his understanding of reality itself. The resonance frequencies aren't just emanating from individual monuments, they're creating interference patterns between sites that generate entirely new electromagnetic signatures, frequencies that don't exist in nature and can only be produced through the coordinated interaction of multiple precisely tuned transmitters. What makes this discovery absolutely mind-bending is that these interference patterns are creating electromagnetic frequencies that directly correspond to human neural oscillations associated with what neuroscientists call expanded consciousness states. The global megalithic network isn't just awakening, it's synchronizing to broadcast specific frequencies designed to trigger simultaneous consciousness expansion across the entire human population. Think about what this means. If these monuments can coordinate their electromagnetic output to influence human consciousness on a planetary scale, then we're looking at a global consciousness alteration system that's been dormant for thousands of years, waiting for the right moment to activate. The extraterrestrial intelligences who guided the construction of these sites didn't just build individual monuments. They created a planetary consciousness enhancement network designed to trigger a species-wide awakening when humanity reached the appropriate evolutionary threshold. The timing of this activation correlates with astronomical events that occur only once every 26,000 years, suggesting that the entire system was programmed to respond to cosmic cycles that dwarf human historical timescales. The monuments aren't just reacting to current conditions, they're following a predetermined schedule based on galactic positioning and cosmic energy flows that their builders understood with precision that far exceeds our current astrophysical knowledge. But here's where the evidence becomes truly extraordinary. The consciousness expansion effects now being reported at megalithic sites around the world aren't random or chaotic. They follow specific patterns that suggest a coordinated curriculum, as if the awakening monuments are delivering precisely calibrated consciousness enhancement experiences designed to prepare humanity for contact with intelligences whose mental capabilities far exceed our current understanding. Visitors to recently activated sites report remarkably consistent experiences despite having no contact with each other and no prior knowledge of what to expect. They describe encounters with beings of pure consciousness who communicate through direct mental transmission, sharing knowledge about humanity's cosmic heritage and our approaching integration into a galactic community of intelligent species. These aren't hallucinations or wishful thinking. They're coherent, detailed communications that provide specific information about technologies, scientific principles, and cosmic realities that the experiencers couldn't have known beforehand. The information being transmitted through these consciousness expansion experiences includes detailed descriptions of propulsion technologies that manipulate space-time geometry, energy systems that harness quantum field fluctuations, and communication methods that operate through dimensional frameworks that transcend our understanding of physical reality. This isn't abstract spiritual philosophy, it's specific technical knowledge about advanced technologies that human science is only beginning to theorize about. Even more remarkably, people who experience these consciousness expansion events at different megalithic sites report receiving complementary pieces of a larger knowledge system, as if the global monument network is delivering a comprehensive educational curriculum through coordinated consciousness enhancement experiences. The information isn't random or disconnected. It forms coherent educational modules that build upon each other to create an integrated understanding of cosmic science and galactic civilization. The electromagnetic signatures now being generated by the awakening megalithic network have begun attracting attention from intelligence agencies and military organizations around the world. Classified documents leaked by government insiders reveal that world governments have been monitoring these electromagnetic anomalies for decades, and that they understand far more about the approaching activation than they've revealed to the public. According to these leaked documents, government scientists have determined that the electromagnetic patterns emanating from sites like Stonehenge match signatures detected by deep space monitoring systems, signatures that appear to be responses to communications originating from locations beyond our solar system. The monuments aren't just generating electromagnetic signals, they're participating in an active communication exchange with extraterrestrial intelligences who are coordinating the timing and sequence of the global awakening. The classified research reveals that world governments have been preparing for this activation event for decades, developing protocols and technologies designed to interface with the consciousness enhancement systems built into the megalithic network. Secret facilities have been constructed near major monument sites, equipped with advanced electromagnetic monitoring equipment, and consciousness research laboratories staffed by teams of neuroscientists, physicists, and specialists in what government documents refer to as non-human intelligence interaction protocols. These government preparations suggest that the approaching activation represents more than just consciousness expansion or spiritual awakening. It's a contact event of unprecedented magnitude, a moment when humanity will be formally introduced to the galactic community that has been guiding our development from behind the scenes. The monuments serve as interface systems, technological bridges that will facilitate direct communication and knowledge transfer between human civilization and our extraterrestrial mentors. But the evidence suggests that this contact event will be unlike anything depicted in science fiction movies or popular culture. Rather than dramatic spacecraft landings or intimidating alien encounters, the contact will occur primarily through consciousness expansion and direct mental communication facilitated by the electromagnetic technologies built into the megalithic network. The monuments will serve as consciousness amplification systems that enable humans to perceive and interact with intelligences whose existence operates on dimensional levels beyond our normal sensory range. The consciousness enhancement effects now intensifying at sites like Stonehenge are preparing human minds for this expanded perceptual capability. The acoustic and electromagnetic technologies that alter brainwave patterns aren't just creating interesting experiences, they're literally upgrading human consciousness to enable perception of realities that exist beyond our current sensory limitations. The monuments function as consciousness evolution accelerators, compressing thousands of years of natural mental development into intensive enhancement experiences. The mathematical and astronomical knowledge preserved in these monuments takes on new significance when viewed as preparation for galactic citizenship. The advanced mathematical constants, sophisticated geometric relationships, and complex astronomical calculations aren't just impressive demonstrations of ancient knowledge, they represent the basic scientific literacy requirements for civilizations that operate on cosmic scales. The monuments serve as educational institutions, preserving and teaching the fundamental knowledge that all spacefaring species must master. The preservation technology that has maintained these monuments across millennia ensures that this cosmic education system remains operational regardless of changes in human civilization or environmental conditions. The self-repair capabilities, molecular stabilization treatments, and electromagnetic maintenance systems represent technology so advanced that they continue to function as designed thousands of years after installation, waiting patiently for humanity to evolve enough to understand their educational purpose. The global coordination of monument activation suggests that the contact event will be a planetary phenomenon that transcends national boundaries, cultural differences, and religious divisions. The consciousness enhancement effects will be experienced simultaneously by people around the world, creating a shared awareness of humanity's cosmic heritage that will unite our species in ways that transcend our current conflicts and divisions. This planetary consciousness awakening represents the culmination of a cosmic development program that has been operating for thousands of years. The extraterrestrial intelligences who guided the construction of the megalithic network understood that human civilization would need to reach specific levels of technological, intellectual, and spiritual development before being ready for direct contact with galactic civilizations. The monuments serve as monitoring stations that track human progress and trigger the contact sequence when predetermined evolutionary thresholds are reached. The consciousness expansion experiences now occurring at megalithic sites around the world indicate that humanity has reached those thresholds. Our technological development, scientific understanding, and global communication capabilities have evolved to levels that qualify us for membership in the galactic community. The awakening monuments are responding to this evolutionary achievement by initiating the contact protocols that will formally introduce humanity to our cosmic family. But this introduction comes with responsibilities and challenges that will test everything we think we know about ourselves and our place in the universe. The extraterrestrial intelligences communicating through the megalithic network have made it clear that galactic citizenship requires not just technological advancement, but wisdom, compassion, and the ability to transcend the primitive conflicts and competition that have characterized human civilization throughout our history. The consciousness enhancement technologies built into the monument network are designed to help humanity develop these cosmic citizenship qualities. The acoustic and electromagnetic effects that expand awareness also promote empathy, understanding, and connection with others. The monuments serve as training facilities where humans can experience the expanded consciousness necessary for peaceful coexistence with species whose nature and capabilities far exceed our current understanding. As the activation sequence continues and the global megalithic network approaches full operational status, humanity stands on the threshold of the most significant transformation in our species' history. The approaching contact event will bring technologies that solve our energy and environmental challenges, consciousness, enhancement techniques that eliminate conflict and promote cooperation, and knowledge of cosmic principles that will accelerate human development beyond anything we can currently imagine. The evidence is overwhelming, the timing is precise, and the activation is imminent. The monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance are fulfilling their ultimate purpose as humanity's graduation ceremony into cosmic citizenship. The consciousness enhancement systems are coming online, the communication channels are opening, and our cosmic family is preparing to welcome us into the galactic community that has been nurturing our development for thousands of years. Stonehenge and its global network of megalithic counterparts represent more than ancient engineering marvels or archaeological mysteries. They are active technological systems that continue to operate according to their original programming, serving as humanity's bridge to a cosmic future that will transform every aspect of our civilization. The electromagnetic countdown continues, the consciousness effects intensify, and the moment of contact approaches when humanity will finally understand the truth that has been preserved in stone and starlight for over 4 millennia. We are not alone. We never have been. And the monuments that prove this cosmic truth are preparing to fulfill their ultimate purpose as our species takes its first steps into a universe far more connected, purposeful, and magnificent than we ever dared to imagine. The mystery of Stonehenge is solved, but its greatest revelations are yet to come. The cosmic family that guided its construction is preparing to reveal themselves, and humanity's greatest adventure is about to begin. The electromagnetic pulses crescendo as we approach the final revelation that will shatter everything you thought you knew about human history and our cosmic destiny. Standing before Stonehenge today, watching its ancient stones catch the morning light, you're witnessing more than a monument. You're looking at humanity's first embassy to the stars, a cosmic communication device that has been transmitting our species' development status to galactic civilizations for nearly 5,000 years. The evidence we've examined paints an inescapable picture. The impossible precision of construction that defies Bronze Age capabilities, the advanced astronomical knowledge that predates human discovery by millennia, the sophisticated acoustic engineering that manipulates consciousness through frequencies we're only beginning to understand, the electromagnetic systems that harness cosmic energies in ways our science can barely measure, the mathematical relationships that encode universal constants in stone, and perhaps most remarkably the preservation technology that maintains all these systems across geological timescales. This convergence of impossibilities forces us to abandon our comfortable assumptions about human history and confront a reality that mainstream archaeology has spent decades suppressing. Stonehenge wasn't built by primitive humans struggling with rope and bronze tools. It was constructed through collaboration between our ancestors and extraterrestrial intelligences, whose technological capabilities far exceeded anything available on Bronze Age Earth. But the true magnitude of this revelation extends far beyond ancient construction projects. The consciousness enhancement technologies built into Stonehenge and similar monuments around the world represent a systematic upgrade to human cognitive capabilities that has been operating for thousands of years. The acoustic frequencies that alter brainwave patterns, the electromagnetic fields that influence neural activity, and the astronomical alignments that connect human consciousness to cosmic rhythms all serve a single purpose: preparing humanity for our role in a galactic community of intelligent species. The preservation systems that have maintained these monuments across millennia ensure that this consciousness enhancement program continues regardless of changes in human civilization. The self-repair mechanisms, molecular stabilization treatments, and electromagnetic maintenance protocols represent technology so advanced that they operate autonomously, waiting patiently for humanity to evolve enough to understand their true purpose. That moment of understanding is now upon us. The electromagnetic countdown sequences detected at megalithic sites worldwide indicate that these ancient systems are approaching a predetermined activation threshold. The global monument network is preparing to reveal capabilities that have remained dormant for thousands of years, capabilities designed to facilitate direct contact between human civilization and the extraterrestrial intelligences who have been guiding our development from the shadows. The consciousness expansion experiences now occurring at sites like Stonehenge provide a preview of this approaching contact event. Visitors report direct communication with beings of advanced intelligence who share knowledge about humanity's cosmic heritage and are approaching integration into galactic civilization. These aren't random spiritual experiences or hallucinations. They're coordinated educational encounters designed to prepare select individuals for the broader contact event that will transform human civilization. The astronomical alignments embedded in Stonehenge's design point to a specific moment in cosmic time, when Earth's position relative to galactic energy sources creates optimal conditions for consciousness expansion and interstellar communication. This cosmic convergence, occurring once every 26,000 years, represents the graduation ceremony that formally inducts human civilization into the community of spacefaring species. The mathematical relationships preserved in the monument structure serve as cosmic credentials, demonstrating that humanity has achieved the scientific understanding necessary for galactic citizenship. The advanced constants, geometric principles, and astronomical calculations embedded in Stonehenge's design represent prerequisite knowledge that all spacefaring civilizations must master before being granted access to galactic technologies and communication networks. The global pattern of megalithic construction during the Neolithic period represents a coordinated infrastructure project designed to support humanity's eventual transition to cosmic citizenship. These monuments serve as planetary beacons that announce Earth's status as a world inhabited by intelligent life ready for contact. Their electromagnetic signatures create a recognition pattern that identifies our planet to cosmic civilizations, monitoring stellar regions for emerging species. But perhaps most importantly, these monuments demonstrate that human civilization has never been alone. The extraterrestrial intelligences who guided their construction established a permanent presence on Earth through technological systems that continue to operate according to their original programming. We've been part of a galactic community since prehistoric times, connected to a vast network of intelligent species through monuments that serve as communication nodes in a cosmic internet spanning the galaxy. The approaching activation of this cosmic communication network will fundamentally transform human civilization in ways we can barely imagine. Technologies that harness cosmic energies will solve our environmental and resource challenges. Consciousness enhancement techniques will eliminate the conflicts and divisions that have plagued human society throughout history. Direct access to galactic knowledge databases will accelerate human scientific and technological development beyond anything our current paradigms can encompass. As the electromagnetic countdown continues and the global megalithic network approaches full activation, we stand on the threshold of humanity's greatest adventure. The monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance are preparing to fulfill their ultimate purpose as gateways to cosmic citizenship. The consciousness enhancement systems are coming online, the communication channels are opening, and our cosmic family is preparing to welcome us into the galactic community that has been nurturing our development for thousands of years. The silence that follows this revelation isn't empty. It's pregnant with possibility, heavy with the weight of transformation that approaches like dawn breaking over Salisbury Plain. As you absorb the magnitude of what we've uncovered together, feel the shift occurring in your own consciousness. This isn't just information you've received, it's activation, recognition, awakening. Because here's what changes everything about your role in this cosmic story. You're not just a passive observer watching from the sidelines as humanity stumbles toward its galactic destiny. You're an active participant in the greatest transformation our species has ever experienced. The consciousness enhancement effects radiating from Stonehenge and its global network don't discriminate. They're reaching through screens, through distance, through the barriers we've built around our minds, touching everyone who opens themselves to this truth. The extraterrestrial intelligences who designed these monuments understood something profound about consciousness itself. It's not confined to physical proximity. It operates through resonance, through recognition, through the simple act of acknowledging truth when it's presented. By following this investigation to its conclusion, by allowing yourself to consider possibilities that challenge everything you've been taught, you've already begun participating in the consciousness upgrade that these ancient systems were designed to facilitate. This is why the global megalithic network is activating now in our time during this precise moment in human history. We've reached the threshold where enough minds are ready to receive this truth, to process its implications, to begin the integration process that will prepare our species for cosmic contact. You're part of that critical mass, that tipping point of awareness that triggers the next phase of human evolution. But transformation comes with responsibility. The knowledge you now possess about humanity's true origins and cosmic connections isn't meant to be hoarded or dismissed as entertainment. It's meant to be shared, discussed, integrated into your understanding of who we are and where we're going. Every person who awakens to this truth becomes a node in the expanding network of human consciousness that's preparing for contact. The electromagnetic signatures we've detected aren't just emanating from ancient stones. They're resonating through every human mind that recognizes the truth of our cosmic heritage. You've become part of the activation sequence, a conscious participant in humanity's graduation ceremony into galactic citizenship. This is your invitation to step fully into that role. Share this investigation with others who are ready to question the official narratives about human history. engage with the mystery, explore the implications, and prepare yourself for the changes that are coming. The consciousness enhancement effects are already working within you, expanding your awareness, preparing you for perceptions and experiences that will soon become commonplace as our species transitions into its cosmic future. The monuments our ancestors built with extraterrestrial assistance have been waiting patiently for this moment, for minds ready to receive their message, for hearts open to the possibility that we are so much more than we've been taught to believe. That moment is now, that mind is yours, and the greatest adventure in human history is about to begin. The stars that guided the construction of Stonehenge still shine above us tonight, connecting us to the same cosmic intelligence that has been nurturing human development for thousands of years. Tomorrow, when you look up at that eternal sky, you'll see it with new eyes, understanding that we are not isolated on a lonely planet, but part of a vast community of consciousness that spans the galaxy. The mystery of Stonehenge is solved, the truth of our cosmic origins revealed, and you, dear viewer, are now part of the awakening that will transform everything. Welcome to humanity's cosmic future. Welcome home.